the moment. He's ready to go, so are we. Friday night football, Fremantle versus St Kilda. Round 21 action.
Josh Carr just missed.
He did too.
Not a good start. Opening bounce on Friday night football. Sandilands goes up and knocks it down decisively. Milne got it to Jones. Opportunity for Powell on his knees. Back to Jones inside the centre square. Boots it down towards half forward. Coming up on the lead and winning a free kick is Del Santo. So plenty of touches for the Saints early. The umpires tonight, Allen, Head and Woodcock. And Friday night football linked to Fremantle like a bad tattoo. Del Santo goes wide. The mark is taken by Blake. Blake off his step down towards half forward. Baker, meters in the clear. High ball down towards full forward. Sandilands up, he goes, missed the mark. Revolt to Powell, got a hand pass away. Harvey, 35 meters out, doesn't kick too many goals, but he's got one straight through the middle.
Straight to Sandilands, the St Kilda boys have gone as well. Of course, he made good position to take that mark as the big ruckman in the hole and just let it slip through his arms. And the St Kilda boys let him know all about it. It is
had that been a watermelon,
yeah, it's a very disappointing miss, wasn't it? And make no mistake, that's a single factor that cost him the goal.
Terrible miss. If you're stationed to kick behind play, you must gobble those up.
So big Sandilands who dropped the punt, a bit of heave-o. They got in the St Kilda boys. Hamill letting him know that he dropped an absolute centre. Rob Harvey kicked the goal, which means his career scoring now is 179 goals, 179 behinds. And as I said in the opening, it's his birthday on Sunday. What a start for the champion from St Kilda.
Play restarts then. Sandilands won it down. Josh Carr slipped it away, going in solidly. Goddard emerging with a ball, lost it. Battling hard against him is Black. Played for the Saints until this season, of course, after his early days at Fremantle.
No, they've got to make a bit of a statement here. I mean, they've been put under a lot of pressure. Physically, they say St Kilda are going to go after him, and you see Sandilands drop a mark like that in the opening minutes. That can go one or two ways. It can inspire them or deplete them.
Sandilands knocked it down. Disposals 10-0. It's going to be 10-1 now. It's taken a while, and Hazelby is hurt on the ground, slow to get up.
Might have been a clash of heads in there, Dennis.
That's Shammer, the last man to get up. Thought I heard the umpire say a free kick to Hazelby. Maybe he got it wrong. It's going to be Shammer's free, is it?
No, I don't think it's a free. It was a really good hit and shoulder from Lenny Hayes.
Well, Shammer in all sorts of trouble. Now Mundy goes down towards the 50 and the mark is taken by McFarlane. So despite their lack of possessions, they could score right here. Long ball down towards the pocket. In front, Pavlich.
Well, he's playing on a different... That's not his actual opponent. What Maguire is opposed to at the moment is Pavlich, and Penny was beaten for the mark there as we see Shammer come to the bench. Now they're just giving coverage for each other because McFarlane was so quick on the lead. Penny's following McFarlane, and he just catches Luke Penny in behind.
Well, that's a big worry, I reckon, for St Kilda. Penny won't be able to go with McFarlane on a quick lead, and this is the area where Fremantle could exploit St Kilda.
Pavlich, 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. The champ comes in and slots it.
Last week we saw that McFarlane looked dangerous when the ball came into the forward line, but it was a rarity for it getting down there. Now Maguire played on Pavlich earlier in the year in their one-point win over the Dockers, but Pavlich had a stunning day that afternoon as well. So Maguire will be primed up for this, and he doesn't know whether he's got Pavlich's measure here, so he's going to have to pull something out of the bag to get a win tonight as well.
Matthew Pavlich, who averages 5 goals in his last 7 matches this season. And there's plenty of action out there at the moment.
There is, Eddie, and I'll tell you, if I was Luke McFarlane or Fremantle, I'd leave Luke McFarlane in the goal square and let Luke Penny try and go with him for leg speed. It's a big plus for Freo.
So the Dockers through Black. Del Santo coming hard off the line was Cook.
Good tackle, let it go.
And Del Santo will be the last to get up. Shammer to the boundary line, we saw that before. Also Rob Harvey copped a head from Dodd. A head clash, just copped him in the back of the hit dots back of his head right into the chin of Harvey, but he seems to be okay as Powell goes forward. Up towards half forward, another turnover inside. 50 by the Fremantle Dockers. The ball spills out to Ball from 48 metres out. He lines up the goals. It's a good-looking kick onto the line. I think it's just been touched. It has. Through for one rush behind there. Let's go down to Peter Larkins to find out what's happened to Byron Shammer.
Yeah, they called a hip pointer, Ed, just a really big bruise over the hip crest, the iliac crest on the side of the hip, right on the bone. It'll be sore the rest of the night.
Here's Grover. From right half back, pops it up towards the wing. Crowley slides in, takes the mark.
Good hard lead up from half forward.
Josh Carr offers, that's ignored. Crowley goes very short to Matthew Carr. He's on the wing.
He's actually got the job at this moment in time. It appears he's got the job on Del Santo.
High ball, Pavlich double team there. Sandwich between Goddard and Maguire. Ackland at the back, it's a hand pass away. Under pressure, it's kicked out by, I think it was Del Santo. He finds Revolt. Revolt, the defensive centre, right centre wing, wants to go under pressure, kicks towards half forward. Directed though, Langmuir takes the mark. Immediately, back to the corridor, taken by Matthew Carr. Hazelby, Josh Carr, scoots away down towards centre half forward, chips inside the forward 50. Pavlich comes to meet it again. Right on the 50, pulls it back across the body. Penny comes to meet it, left it behind, socked it off the ground. McFarlane leading back in the race. Goddard back in the side tonight, concedes a behind.
Well, Troy Cook's not the most polished player, but he's leading the way in a physical stage for Fremantle. Goddard pushing back into the hole to try and get into Pavlich's space, and that is something that Fremantle would have been aware of and will have planned for.
So the Dockers have at least come out to have a go tonight. Early indications, 7 minutes into this opening term, as Baker has it in the back pocket. Scores level.
Josh Carr running with Luke Ball, a couple of matchups, and Matthew Carr with Del Santo. So if the Carr boys have a big night, Freo a chance.
Baker goes long with a kick, sitting underneath it nicely there as Anthony Grover takes the mark. 70 out, he's got Sandilands on it, so half forward. Decides to go further out to Walker. No, it's not, it's picked up there by Medhurst. Medhurst from 65 goes with a long block. It's a beauty! Medhurst delivers. Dockers hit the front.
Well, last time these two teams met, Paul Medhurst played out of the goal square, and it was Max Hudson who played on. And Hudson's got great foot pace. He's got Brett Voss tonight, and he's taken him up the ground, so the foot pace aspect won't be that much of a worry. He will be able to get into space and hold the lead he gets to the ball first. He needs to get that type of play into his game, kicking goals from outside on the run.
26 goals for this season for Paul Medhurst, and that was a beauty. From long range, Dockers lead it by 6. Rucks go at it. Sandilands knocked it down. Stolen away by Ackland to Powell. Harvey got a hand to it. Hayes, and now Baker from the wing down towards half forward. Revolt in front. Big assignment for Thornton. Revolt 75 metres from goal.
Gee, works so hard then. If you can just see how hard Nick Revolt works to get off his man and lead. The initial burst is amazing.
Montagna running into some good form. He'll play on. Kicks inside the forward 50. Geurig's the target. Coming across was Mundy. Got a hand on it. Knocked it across the boundary line. We've got a boundary throw in as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Byron Shammer's just left the interchange bench, gone up the race with the doctor, Dennis, and probably have an injection around the side of the hip bone there just to try and sort out that hip pointer.
Great tap from Sandilands again, came down to Langmuir. Goes up towards the half-back flank position. Good punch by Graham. And it's knocked over the line and out of bounds, out of the way of Ryan Crawley. Will have a throw-in at half-forward flank for the Saints.
This big forward line for St Kilda was always going to cause problems. Justin Longmuir's playing back on Kaczynski. Parker's on Gehrig. You've got Grover on Hamill and Thornton on Revolt.
8 Milver hit-outs to Sandilands so far.
And he's been great in that area. Sandilands' ability to find a target has been really important. So these are the areas that they need to exploit Freo if they're going to get St Kilda's measure.
Ball up the half-forward flank for the Saints. Ackland versus Sandilands again. Third man up was Hamill, who got the tap, the first for the Saints. Hayes was held without the ball. Umpires called play on. Players dive in on top of it. Walker's over the top. We'll have another bounce. The big pack of players over the ball. Aaron Hamill, the last man up with it. Well, remember that controversial one-point win to St Kilda against Fremantle down in Tassie.
Hamill tackle on Matthew Carr in the dying moments.
Yep, 37 seconds to go. And Hamill kicked the behind. Sandilands, again, just reaches over the top of Rewalt, which is no mean feat. The Hazel with a Grover to Cook, and away they go. Through the middle of Subiaco over. Cook has a bounce, but it doesn't come up. Then he kicks off the side of the boot, might come off. It does. Medhurst takes the diving mark in front of Cross. Umpire will play on. Half volley, he said. Now he's over the top. He might be in trouble. Well, Gillen.
Hit the ground.
That's what meant.
50 metres.
It's Paul saying the same thing.
Scream mark, yes. Oh, look, whether you believe in this way of adjudication or not, that's a mark. Okay, no problem with that. Scream, I marked it, but it's the insult thereafter. Now, whether you believe it should be adjudicated that way or not, you've got to be smarter. That one there, the gesticulation of the umpire wore that I marked it.
Well, it's a hard one because shot at goal from Medhurst, who kicked one a moment ago from 55 out. Suddenly it's in the forward pocket for St Kilda. Yeah. Free kick will go the way of the Dockers on this occasion, and Parker will take it. The Subiaco crowd are happy about that.
I guarantee you the coaches will be saying, hey, adapt to the circumstances, don't insult the umpire.
What they've done pretty well is manufactured the loose man for St Kilda. They've got Graham as the free, and they wouldn't be that worried about that.
Josh Carr dropped it from left half back, kicks it towards his brother on the wing. Will it stay in? No, it bounces across the boundary line. Josh Carr coming off 13 possessions last week. His season's low 10 against Sydney in round 12. Doc?
Yeah, Luke Penny struggling again with that chronic knee soreness. Luke McFarlane aware of it, Dennis. I'm sure they'll run him around. The physio's been out twice to Luke Penny, but a little bit sore in the right knee, his old chronic problem.
Thompson in trouble, surrounded by Dockers. Sandilands couldn't pick it up. Goddard sockers it towards midfield. Blake, not his best effort, but gets it towards half forward. Eventually a chance for Cook after Harvey knocked it out. A chain of hand passes. Eventually Dodd goes after it. It was an untidy one that sold him into trouble from Monday. And now the kick from Ball after a hand pass from Hamill goes out of bounds. Eminently forgettable football from players of both sides.
Look at this umpire here.
And you see Sandilands in the top of your screen there.
Oh, we're on Fremantle.
Yeah.
The man in yellow wasn't positioned in the middle of the play.
Derek Woodcock that was, but stood pretty still. They handballed it at him.
Who, the umpire?
Wasn't much you could do there.
No, that's right.
Oh, sorry, you blokes defending him tonight.
Yeah,
after
like
giving him a lashing for the last 7 days.
They're like goalposts. They extend into infinity.
Get out of the road.
Here's a chance for Cook. Snaps it down towards half forward. Bounces very high. Penny came high. Knocked on brilliantly by Thornton. Into the path of Cass. Gets a hand pass to Peake. And Peake goes in unhindered and slams it through for a goal for the Dockers. Their third.
Well, I hope it goes down as a goal assist goes, but young Thornton's knocked back over the top of his head is where the goal was made then. He knew he was going to cop one in the back of the head, yet he knocks it over. Josh Carr will probably come up with the stat of a goal assist there by getting the last handball, and it was a great handball off the deck on his knees. But young Thornton there, well done, son. He comes to the bench for a rest now.
So 3 on the trot to the Fremantle Dockers. Tony Jones, boundary side.
Yeah, the runner's been out to Paul Medhurst. The message was pretty brief. Get off.
Well, that was a great piece of play. He'd come off. Thornton was on Rewalt, so Polak's come on. Looks like they're going to double team Rewalt all night.
And there's your coach's answer to back-chatting the umpire.
And there's Sandilands' answer to dropping that early mark. He's been killing them ever since. As Peake again goes forward up towards the goal square, pushing and shoving. It's going to go the way of the Dockers.
Who's on the ground? Because that's where the free kick is.
McFarlane's free.
Pavlich was trying to edge out.
This is the area. No advantage paid, so the free kick goes to McFarlane.
He's not even with the footy, have a look at that. He's old man. You're arguing with that, Matthew. Is that what you're arguing about? I'd suggest you be quiet.
Yeah.
Sound like to me you're arguing.
I suggest you keep quiet.
Right out.
Well, the umpire went to the video himself there, Umpire Allen. He said, you've got to be kidding. Have a look at the screen there. You're not arguing over that. It doesn't matter. McFarlane's got it. Don't argue because they've kicked 4 in a row. The Fremantle Dockers have come to play finally on Friday Night Football.
This is an area, no Hutchton, no Fisher. So that means Penny has to do the job on McFarlane. I've got my doubts. He's got his back to the play. That's what the umpire's going on about.
Well, the game's football. You play football. You're not playing if you're facing away from the footy and you're tackling somebody. You've got your arms around them. That's a worry, that matchup.
Well, the big win would be if Kaczynski has to go back there at some stage, because Penny can't go forward. They're not nowhere near as dangerous as Kaczynski.
Luke McFarlane, 29 goals for this season, including 3 hauls of 5, but only 2 in the last 2 weeks. So a good start for him, good start for the Dockers. They lead 25-7 early going. Friday Night Football from Perth on a beautiful night. In stark contrast to last Friday. And a good bounce too. Both ruckmen almost missed it. Blake got it as it came down to him. Dodd goes back to Crowley. Floats one down towards wide half court. Will it sit? Carr made it sit. Knocked it to his own advantage. Went to ground though. This is young Graham gets a hand pass away. Maguire heads for the boundary line, knocked across by Thompson.
Well, because
Thompson's anxious to find Dodd, and that will be a free kick. Crazy.
Discipline there.
So he caught one here.
In the back, mate, he's right.
Well, no, he didn't.
No, that's silly from Andrew Thompson. He knows better than that. You've got such confidence in Sandilands. Carr just ran forward.
Adding insult to injury, Dodd plays on. Went by the man on the mark, kicks it down towards full forward. Blunt knocked it forward. Schofield's kick could bounce through for a goal. May have been touched by Voss. It was.
Uncharacteristic play by Andrew Thompson there.
Very much so. Usually very disciplined.
Thompson and Powell are running a tandem run with roll on Hazelby, or it appears so far.
Jones to Voss, up the line he goes. Mark taken by Montagna. A defensive 50 for St.Kilda. Not able to get any run going at the moment. After being 10-zip in the disposals early on, Dockers have really got back into it there.
Yeah, they don't get Del Santo into the forward line, and in fact at the moment he's actually standing in the goal square.
36-35, 3 hours away, so they've had one more. That'll be squared off now as coming to take his kick is Jason Blake on centre wing for the Saints.
That should be playing now.
Long kick up towards Revolt. It's punched away off hands and over the line and out of bounds. Oh, and into the stand they go. And Ryan Crowley comes back in to the field of play. Have a look at that. Possession time 55 to 34%. So Fremantle have had it. And what's going on here? Look at that one. Young Dodd still in trouble there. Pete Larkins will keep an eye on what's going on. In the meantime, Thompson comes out to Hayes.
Good free. Well done.
You're not to the ground.
Well done, because Hamill's away.
Hamill was running into a tight pocket there.
But he's in motion and the forwards will read that. And yeah, well done by Grover.
In the meantime, he kicks it straight back to where Hamill had it in the first place. So here we go, take 2. Aaron Hamill has it 65 metres out from goal. Revolt in the square, decides to go up towards Gary. Good kick, good mark. And Fraser's able to get that ample chest in the way and take a bit of pressure off that sore thumb of his. He's played on straight away. Look at this, the G-train. How many does he kick from that pocket? Left foot, absolute beauty. He did it last week, and he gets the Saints back in the game.
Well, they've got to know that the Fremantle defender needs to know that this is Fraser Gearing's trademark, if you don't mind.
Well, he does.
Parker there needs to crib to his right. Don't go over the mark, but go to his right about 10 metres.
And you've also, he has to do that, but Fraser actually waits for the man on the mark to actually look down and see where his position is on the ground, and then he's off.
And got a shield from the umpire, which is good work from Gearing.
Dodd shaken, but he seems to be okay. Easy for me to say. That was earlier. That skirmish near the boundary line.
You'd struggle to think that was the injury, but then again, Michael Clark did his back by throwing a cricket ball, so who would know?
Well, Dodd played on after that, so I think he was okay. He ran around the man on the mark. Sandlands goes up and thumps it about 10 metres, taken by Harvey, full-chested, and away he goes down towards half-forward for the Saints. There's the two down there, Kozetzky and Langmuir lurking behind Polak. Somehow got through, smothered off the boot by Montagna though, bounces inside the 50. Hayes slides a hand pass to Del Santo, watch them from here, and this is no exception. Beautiful kick. Splits the middle his first.
Well, there's nothing you can do about Del Santo kicking that goal because you assume all your players, all your teammates, if you're Fremantle, are running into space because that kick should never, ever be smothered like that. Graham Polak was as good as running into and banging his head on the wall then. Did he think he's playing under 19s, reserves footy, and they're not going to be as full of pressure and smother the ball? Of course they are. They're going to smother it. It's league footy. Shocking turnover.
Therein lies the frustration of Graham Polak, who worked the ball, won the ball well, found some space well, and then inexplicably kicked into the man and out.
It was under 16 footy to let that footy get that ball get smothered.
Yeah, they don't jump out of the way in this league, do they?
Oh, they've loved laying across boots, mate. This is league footy. They're playing for big money.
Yep, the stats called 1%ers. People are looking at those things, and Lee Montagna was the man who affected the smother. Del Santo kicked the goal. In the meantime, it's Langmuir now, as the wind has been taken a little bit out of the Dockers' sails at the moment. 2 goals in a minute and a half to secure it up here. It's back to 7 points of difference. Well, now they go inside the 50. Up towards Big Sandilands, getting across was Kozetzky, and he's taking the mark. He can bring it out quickly. Out to Thompson at defensive 50. Plenty of room to run now. Looks up, he's got Harvey on centre wing. That's where he's going. Up to the dual Brownlow medalist. What a superstar he has been in his illustrious career. See, we put the numbers on even on Rob Harvey when we give him a wrap. He recovered beautifully though. He might have just been teasing us all as he put it lace out on Nick Revolt's chest. 55 out, the captain of St Kilda.
The old shell trick.
Yep.
His goal kicking hasn't been great, Nick Revolt, so it's an area that he needs to improve on.
23 goals, 26 this year. 143 goals, 95 in his career. Doesn't make the distance, kicks to the top of the square. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. At the front of the fall of the ball, there was Mundy who got it away. Now the Dockers can bring the ball out through Schofield from the back pocket.
Got it from Parker. The short one is on. Matthew Carr. He's at left half back.
Schofield is creative. He should try and get to him again if he can find a bit of space. Hamill's chased Schofield up, but he won't be able to sit right on him. He might use him again in the pocket here. Goes over.
Got Voss on Pavlich at the minute.
Langmuir the target. He attracts the crowd. Almost took the mark. Cook could have been taken high. He gets the free.
Voss on Pavlich because Sandilands has pushed down. Maguire's gone to Sandilands, so that would be a situation you wouldn't mind.
Peak. Across the ground. He's centre half back and Grover. Now he can run. McFarlane's on the move towards the wing. The kick goes in that direction. McFarlane, pretty quick off the mark, has taken the mark.
Goddard's gone to him too, so they recognise that he's too quick for Penny. So they have won a little battle here for you.
Pavlich wanting it long. The kick goes in that direction. He works in front. There's the football. Loose at the back. Kozetzky gets back. Close to the boundary line. Hugs the boundary line with a kick. That was precise. Del Santo takes the mark. Just over 6 minutes to go. Fremantle lead by 7.
I reckon that's a good thing. Just find out whether Brendan Goddard can pick up a mobile key forward. You're coming into the finals, the Saints, and something like that will be valuable knowledge to put in the back pocket.
Play on is the call. Del Santo goes for distance. Up goes Polak, keen to make amends. He's got the ball right on the wing. Looks inside the centre square. Well, that's a kick in hope. It lands between about 5 players. Coming through strongly was Langmuir. He put Graham down, taken by Peak. Kicks inside the forward 50 yet again. Harvey, brilliantly done. Came across on the angle, knocked it to his own advantage. Turns around, kicks it towards the defensive 50. Gathered by Ball, comes over the top, taken by Milne. Milne kicks towards half-forward. Grover, brilliantly done. Knocked it down to Langmuir. Shrugged the tackle. End-to-end stuff. Polak, Shammer. And they try back towards the middle now. Grover takes the mark inside the centre circles. Pops it over the top. Hazelby sold into trouble. Grover gets it again. Breaks the half forward. Long telling kick. Sandilands needs to go. Went one-handed. Got to do better than that. He kicked. Down went Kozetzky. And who was getting the free? The big fella?
I reckon it might be
arms around his waist. Arms around his waist.
Yeah, McFarlane again. So This is the worry they've got. Goddard is not familiar playing back deep on someone like McFarlane, so he should take him back to the square.
It's the little and big coach.
There he is on the left-hand side of your screen.
Oh, it didn't look much in it. Must have been earlier than that, was it?
No, that was it on the approach to that. They put both arms around him. That's what the umpire sees.
McFarlane, Fremantle, with their 7th free kick. They lead by 4 in that department. And they lead by 13 on the scorecard. His second.
The sceptics would be suggesting that Grant Thomas's bait midweek hasn't been all that well served. A couple of free kicks in the goal square. That is a non-free kick. And when you get them in front of goal, they hurt 3 times as much. So he's still upset. Goddard's got to forget about it now. He's got to realise that he's now playing full back on Luke McFarlane and work out how he's going to beat him.
All right, Luke McFarlane gets his second goal. Look at the free kick against Maguire it was. Well, if you go down, Gary, and interview Grant Thomas after the game, we could eradicate the African debt with the fines that he'll pick up.
He would be savage with that, Grant. There was no free kick in that.
Well, gee.
But now you've got a very nervous Goddard playing fullback on McFarlane.
Andrew Demetrio might have to just get the meter running backwards. Give him a bit of a discount after that one. It's 7-3 Freo in the free kick department, but they're the ones that hurt. And Maguire has now given away 2 free kicks to McFarlane. One for holding that was there, one for a push that wasn't.
Actually, that one was Goddard that was on McFarlane.
Yeah. That one, the last one?
Yep.
All right, Goddard. Maguire was in the play, but we'll give it to Goddard. And
well,
no matter what's there.
Goddard was the one next to McFarlane. So.
It didn't matter, no one touched him.
No.
Hamill brings the ball out wide. Montagna from 55, a thumping kick to the goal square, nearly there. Up goes Gary. And you can just see he can't quite grab those marks at the moment with a sore thumb. Dr. Peter Larkins, who's been pretty busy boundary side.
Yeah, just up that on Stephen Dodd. You mentioned the wind going over Sales of Freo. He had the wind take him out right in front of me. It wasn't the Andrew Thompson incident. And Luke Penny still up the race in the room, struggling with that knee. Ed, I think he'll be in trouble the rest of the night.
Gary, just before we go on, the importance of Penny now that we've seen Fisher go out of the side, Hudson go out of the side, and now Penny.
I reckon Hudgston's the critical one. Luke Penny struggled all year and he's not able to play on the quick leading forwards, which Max Hudson can. He's a big loss, obviously, if he's out, but that is the one area where they've got a bit of an Achilles heel, Saints.
Pass towards half forward after a terrible kick from Polak, and the ball spills across the boundary line. But generally, their disposal has been pretty good tonight.
Chris Connolly is trying to pinch a goal here in the dying minutes of this quarter. He's actually taken Luke McFarlane off for these last 3 minutes, and he's put Hazelby on, opposed to Goddard. And he will try and run him around inside forward 50. Sandlin's go to goal scorer.
There's Black. Langmuir knocked it down. Black does well, gets away.
Taught.
Yes, an element of danger in the kick. Leading in the race is Reebok, and the ball goes across the boundary line. Quite amazing, really. They have been far more precise tonight. Their attitude has been better. A week is a long time in football. You think back this time last week, they had more turnovers than a mattress at the Notel Motel, but tonight, things are going okay, at least for now. So a throw in just outside the 50. Revolt knocked it down. Harvey onto the ball inside the 50. Going at his second. Looks good. Beautiful kick.
Well, that kick hit the mic on the way through then. Now, they are better performed here, Fremantle, but they're only a goal up. And St.Kilda have been operating at about 60%. If I've been critical of St.Kilda over the last 4 to 6 weeks, and they've won 7 in a row, sometimes they get into a coasting mode. Their midfield is operating at about 40% at the moment. Balsando's hardly played in there. They've got another gear to come up, the Saints.
Rob Harvey gets his second of the game, and it's a goal the difference.
Balsando into the middle for one of the few times this quarter.
Hayes over the top of the ball, dragged it in, just knocked it out in time, picked up and kicked clear there for the Dockers up towards half-forward flank position. Big pack of players come through. Hazelby up towards centre half, towards Sandilands. Mundy's kick. Big clash of players.
Sandilands is hurt because
Kazitsky gets up, he's a bit sore.
It's the thing that Sandlands has got to learn though, Dermot, is that was always on, and it was only at the last minute that he realised he could have got him. He needed to go at that with 1,000,000 miles an hour and throw those 180 kilograms straight down the middle of Justin.
I don't think he goes at 1,000,000.
Well, 1,000,000 for him.
Yeah.
He's the biggest and heaviest bloke who's ever played the game. 124 kilos and 211 centimetres.
He didn't hit him hard enough because there he is now and he's chasing him. So
they needed to run him down a ramp.
I don't know about the height thing, but if Mick Nolan wasn't 124 kilos, he'd even put both feet on it.
Now, well, that's he's gone past Mick by a kilo, apparently.
I reckon Mick was giving himself a haircut on the numbers.
Yeah. I saw Mick Nolan one time have 3 dim sims at quarter time in a practice match. That's fair income.
And he didn't even know it.
He was playing.
He was playing. 3/4 time. Mark Dawson brought him out in a pre-season practice match.
He was a beautiful tap ruckman though as Hazelby gets the ball back flank.
Beautiful kick too, well weighted. Polak, who's had plenty of it, lays it off. Now a chance. The hand pass comes over the top. It came from Shammer. Beat it inside the forward 50 from Matthew Carr, going back Maguire.
The ball's going over Pavlich's head at the moment. They're so dominant in the midfield. It's actually clearing Pavlich, who's playing that 40-metre, 45-metre out from goal centre-half forward role.
106 points. Maguire comes to the wing. Tailor-made for Cook. Reaches over Peckett too easy and knocks it out of bounds. So the last minute, very important for both clubs. He knows that. Chris Connolly.
Montagna, who's struggling, or not struggling, but trying to win a spot. He's done a very good job on Black. Black number 1 for touches, number 2 for marks, number 1 for handball receives. He has only had the 1 touch.
Sandilands brilliantly done. It didn't quite come off. He laid it down into the path of Carr, who battles on. Schofield in the grass. Del Santo knocked it to ground, taken by Matthew Carr. Sandilands gets it away. Grover found some space, goes short. Oh, and the mark was taken by Hazelby. And I think Jones could have done better.
He just missed.
He did. He missed it.
Fresh airing.
Yeah.
Grover doing a good job too in the back line. He's been pretty solid on Hamill. Anthony Grover, he's got Hamill's measure, but also giving him some run.
Clock running down, 15 seconds. Huge kick. Hazelby normally very reliable. Hasn't quite got the carry. The big leap came from McFarlane. Again, the Dockers stop and appeal their case. Can't do that. Baker comes away, runs to halfback. Quarter time at Subiaco Oval, and probably for one of the few times Fremantle looking okay on Friday Night Football. Huge leap.
Pavlich breathing out when he got him, and maybe just got him low down. You see Josh Kerr and Stevie Powell are having a dig at each other out there, standing opposite sides of the circle here, but they'll come together and it'll be one worth watching.
Let's hope Goddard gets the same tribunal as Kazitsky and not the one that got Gehrig earlier in the year.
Down goes Del Santo, hand passes forward. Opportunity for that man who seems to be okay now, Shammer. Kick towards half forward. Awkward bounce down there for Graham, taken by Goddard, away to Jones. Drives it back towards the middle, so Hazelby put them towards half forward, but nothing doing. It's coming back on the other side. Ackland. He's away. Into the start. He's frozen. Gets around Carr. Kicks inside the forward 50. Well played by Milne. Knocked forward by Reebok. Was he taken high? Hamill went to ground. If he wasn't taken high, he was holding the ball, and the umpire calls the latter.
Oh, now there's interest going on behind play. Fraser and Parker. And Parker's trying to give the knuckle sandwich to Fraser Gehry's injured left hand.
Yeah, and Gehry's just giving him a nice good shoulder, and he's trying to hit him in the hand. But then Fraser's putting his hand out, and they're playing knuckles.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. You watch the game.
It's like Stephen Kreniuk and Matty Lloyd years ago.
He's putting his hand out and saying, hit me.
This reminds me of the ladder match.
Can I just say, we're recording it. We'll show you in the first break at play. That's what you get on Friday Night Football.
Powell going to the ground, got a hand pass away. Bossett, clever kick to space. 2-on-1 out there. The Saints have got the numbers. Montagna onto the loose ball. Well, Harvey not sure where he's going. Neither Montagna. Not a good kick getting across was Langmuir. Slapped away eventually. Langmuir, Parker combined.
Paper, scissors, rocks there. Grab it, punch.
Fraser was in there, and now Hazelby across the ground, and the mark is taken by Josh Carr inside the centre square. Wants to go and does. Kicks it down towards left half forward. Again, the numbers favour the Saints. Medhurst does pretty well, though. Ackland's got him, but not before he got the hand pass away. Pavlich has been quiet. His hand pass taken by Shammer. High ball towards centre. Half McFarlane's built a chest mark. Knocks it outside the 50. Ball's got him. The hand passes towards goal, but plenty of Saints back. This is Voss.
So Voss, as I stop looking back down the ground 150 metres, half the ground's looking at that little wall between Parker and Garrick. Now it goes under the line out of bounds. Umpire Allen's had a bit of a look now. Here's where it goes. Look, a bit of a bump now. Whack! He's like, oh, give it a good hit. Come on, have another go. So he did. Go again.
That's like in 12 weeks, best play.
This is great.
If ever they hit each other with their chins, they
have a look at the size of Fraser. When you see him like that at the ISO, you realise just how monstrous he is.
Here they go again, their own private war. Nice deft touch there. Down to Milne. From Garrick around the corner was a beautiful kick, and Del Santo was good enough to take the mark.
This is where they've got to be careful, Fremantle, is the hard and multiple runners through the middle of the ground. In some of the matchups, they get a bit lost. And you know that Harvey's going to run hard, that Del Santo will run hard. That was good work from Fraser. It's using your brain there. A nice touch too from Stephen Milne. So,
well, they've got another gear. They do have another gear in the middle. Del Santo, I would estimate, in the middle of the ground, probably only spent 7 or 8 minutes in the first quarter. So he's going to be fresh run through to half-time.
Del Santo will make it all even with his second goal of the game if he can put it through. Will kick from 40 metres out directly in front. No problem. Big Saints fan base at that end too. They love it. Scores a level at Subi.
Good footy all round there. With Fraser just a little palm outwards. And McMillan just a clever little kick. He sees now. There it is. Off one step. And you wouldn't want it to hang in the air that much longer. But if you know you're going to kick a goal out of the mark, you tend to stay under those with a bit more bravery.
Saw Matthew Carr following him in. He was there, but you've just got to be touch and feel when it goes forward.
32 apiece at Subi, Don. Babe?
Yeah, just Luke Penny looks like he's finished for the night, so that's really going to throw out the defensive. And Gary can get hit on the hand all night, boys, like that. That won't affect him with the injury he's got.
What's he got, Doc?
Well, he's only got a sprained ligament in the thumb, a torn ligament. It's not a broken bone, so he's got it well protected, Dermy. They can whack it. It won't bother Fraser.
Yeah, wait till Vest gets the steel chair. Away comes from Hazelby to Carr. Carr goes down towards half-court. Beautifully done. Pavlich on the lead.
So McFarlane's got room out this side. If he gets on the bike early, it's going to go long.
And his second goal. That's a long kick. Has it got the distance? I tell you what.
This is why Fremantle are still going to be a chance. You still think that St Kilda's runners in the middle might overwhelm them and their forward line is so strong. But Pavlich on Maguire looks like a win. And now you've got Goddard on McFarlane. Goddard playing in an unusual position, full back. This is a monstrous kick from Matthew Pavlich. Summed it up really quickly. So they've got winners up forward, Fremantle. They've just got to give them opportunity.
So Matthew Pavlich is now just 12 goals shy of the Fremantle goal-kicking record held by Tony Modra. Have a look at that one. He has kicked 59 goals this season. And in the last 6 or 7 weeks, he has been absolutely on fire. He enjoyed that one. He put the Dockers back in front by a goal from 60 metres. A big bomb drop punt. 6-2 plays 5-2. Ackland's hit was a beauty. Ball now puts the foot down, breaks away, has a bounce, can go all the way now. 55 and closing, left foot kick up towards Garrick and Parker. They're on each other. Garrick did it beautifully. Great play by Garrick. Was able to get the purchase on his right foot and then push off and get to the front again. He'll line up from 15 metres out directly in front to make scores level.
Started in the middle. There, it started right there. Sandilands not contesting that centre bounce. It was Justin Langmuir. That hit from Ackland into the running space of Luke Ball set the goal up.
Saints have had more marks inside 50 of any side this year, averaging 16. Garrick has the most of any player, averaging 4. There's another one for the season and another goal for big Fraser Garrick. That is goal 71 for the year.
Wasn't if he actually started in the right position where the ball dropped. That was just monstering strength. That is a great hit.
Beautiful.
And look how far he gets to come though.
He's quick, Luke Ball. You know how hard he is inside, but he is a quick mover.
Had to keep his feet. The Dockers chaser there. Gee, when you get that ground level shot of Fraser, you just realise how big he is.
Fraser Gehrig 2 goals, Matthew Pavlich 2 goals. Starting the night, Pavlich had kicked 36 in the last 7 weeks. To put that in perspective, Barry Hall had 27, Fraser Gehrig had 26. That's remarkable stuff considering where he plays on the ground. Langmuir left it behind. Ackland taken down by Carr, and we'll have a ball up. On the assist there was Hazelby.
It's a bit of jump from Justin Langmuir post, but this tells a story here. That's a dominant possession time this quarter. It's got to be... Kane Ackland is a dangerous proposition.
Over the top, Del Santo that time. Thumps it down towards half forward. Under the ball, Powell got the hand pass away. Too slick for Hamill. Well, Hamill's got it now. Runs around, looks inside the 50. He got it from Ball. A high ball comes in off hands. Thornton was up. Chance for Gehrig. Left it behind through the legs of Polak. Opportunity for Harvey. There's a push in the back off the ball. It's going to be a free kick to Black. No. Advantage is paid. No advantage there. Carr taken down by Del Santo. Powell the Revolt. Revolt chips it. They've got 2-on-1 in this situation. Lurking at the back is Milne. Did he have the football? Hazelby in trouble. He was wrestled to the ground. Langmuir gets a hand pass to Black. Should have had the kick in the first place. Goes out wide. Now Carr's away. Josh Carr, the one bounce. Carrying it up towards the wing. Needs to be precise, and he is. Pavlich on the lead. Quarterback going back to Black. Now he sold himself into trouble. Tries to thread it to the middle, intended for Shammer, knocked away by Powell. Cracking it was Hazelby. Picked up by Hayes. Arches the back, gets away 70 metres out. Kicks for Gehrig once more. He was wrestled. The ball bounced off his body. Play on's the call. Langmuir, the big man, out of defence. Good use of the ball. Crowley's on. Polak can go. Crowley is a fair distance away, so he goes halfway to Matthew Carr.
Well, it was good work, Del Santo, Dennis. He was caught between two players. He went to the most dangerous, which was Crowley, and slowed him up.
Polak, look away hand pass, not his intention, but it came off. Matthew Carr kicks long into the forward line, up to Boss. Well, there you go. Baker. Wasn't too hard on him that time. I bit my tongue doing it. The kick comes from Goddard to the outer side.
Hayes has got it. Runs almost to centre wing. Long kick forward. Beautiful lead out by Milne, who takes it on the third juggle. At half forward flank. Too far in to score. He'd be 75 metres out at the moment. Revolt is the man he's wanting to lead to the ball. It was a little bit too far in front of Revolt. Langmuir couldn't quite hold the mark. Thornton does it well. The flowing blonde hair gets the handball going. Up to Carr. Carr looks wider still out to Crowley. Crowley has to go back around the body. Now he thumps it long up towards centre forward position. Out there come Maguire. Couldn't hold the mark. Picks up his own mistake though. Cleans it up. Fixes up his own mess. Gets it out towards Montagna. Hard ball get here coming up. No, he did it well. Beats Shammer to the ball. Knocked it forward, but Pavlich chimes in. Beats them all. Kicks it around the body. Wants to chase after it. That was beautiful play. Close to the boundary line it goes. We'll have a throw in at half-forward flank.
Interesting situation. Those St.Kilda defenders are very, very shaky. It's tailor-made for the Crummers.
Is it ever? And that's where Farmer and Medhurst have got to get busy. You're right, Dennis. I know that's where you're going. Pavlich, as tight as he is, has got to get down to the square and give him a secondary marking option.
Boundary throw in. Knocked down by Sandilands. Taken by Thompson. Feeds it back towards the middle. Ball in the grasp. Slip was the hand pass. Thompson got a hand to it, socked it away by Carr after Montagna was taken down.
The one thing that Fremantle have to do is Pavlich is having to come up so far to meet the ball. They're going long 60-metre drop punts into the forward line, which allows St Kilda's backman to get 2 or 3 to the drop of the ball, and they outnumber Farmer and whoever else is down there. They have to honour the lead and make sure it's a one-on-one for the Dockers.
Sandilands knocked it down. Shammer making the sandwich there. Montagna and Hayes. And the bounce on the outer side.
Yeah, Luke McFarlane has to get on the bike and lead, but stay within the 50 and must separate the St Kilda backman. Don't let them double team.
Hamill thumps it forward. Grover tracks it back towards the boundary. been in good form recently. Rover having a good night tonight on Hamill. Kicks towards half forward. Hayes almost at the second attempt. Carr stood his ground, wrestled down by Hayes. Del Santo smothered by Josh Carr. Sandilands got it away to Hazelby. A centering kick, reaching over the top was Voss. He's a clever player, Voss. Falling to the ground, he was taken high. Interesting, just checking some stats. James Walker has played all 42 minutes. Hasn't had a disposal. And the same applies to Jeff Farmer.
And Walker's tagging around Rob Harvey. Harvey's had a bit of it, 2 goals already.
Here's Hamill at half-back flank. The long kick up towards half-forward. Kaczynski will have to beat 2. Sandilands was one of them there. Oh, good hard play coming through. Hard was Grover again. He's had a good night, as the boys have been saying. Now a chance for the Fremantle Dockers to go. Shammer gets the handball on to Josh Carr. Carr on half-forward flank. A long kick up towards McFarlane, who flies for a sleep. He's given away the free kick.
There's a free kick to McFarlane, no doubt, but before that free kick, there was a free kick to the St Kilda player.
Okay.
Voss. Don't go to they shouldn't go to Medhurst on Voss. He should never be a target or marking target.
Medhurst shouldn't be there. Should not be in McFarlane's leading path.
Baker has it in the back pocket. He's got a short on to Jones if he wants. He can go further afield, and he does.
You know that Medhurst tonight, his job description is to play up outside 50. He's already kicked one on the run. He has to, for the team's sake, keep with that plan.
9 disposals to Voss, to Goddard, out wide to Blake. So the Saints trying to open up the ground. Blake kicks long up the wing position. Revolt has come a long way, accepts the ball beautifully, puts it out in front of Del Santo. Del Santo just measuring up what it's on offer, not much. Fremantle have manned up pretty well, so he decides to go up the line again towards Kaczynski. Langmuir did well in the contest, over the line out of bounds for a throw and scores a level with 10 minutes 19 seconds left in the first half.
Justin Langmuir doing a great job of Justin Kaczynski. He's doing a super job.
Paul Hazelby taking a seat, boundary throw in. Down towards half forward for the Saints. Glorious night in Perth, but chilly. Sandilands just dominating. Not sure that's the spot for it though. Hamill, Del Santo, now an opportunity for Blake. High ball down towards the kickoff line. In front was Black. A lot of holding from everybody down there. Milne was Black. Harvey goes in, gets his third.
Well, pressure in the goal square, Gaz. That one which you love, that safety option. Well, it's a safety when you're kicking into the forward line. The long kick to the goal square. We might just have a look if Rob Harvey still does have Walker.
I think Walker's got Milne.
Walker's gone to Milne now, and I think Black might have been. He's gone to lay the tackle. So it's not as if Black has just vacated Rob Harvey then to allow him his third goal. He's at least trying to make a positive action and tackle.
Rob Harvey's third goal, his best effort as far as goals concerned since round 3, 2001. 3 goals tonight, Saints in front by a goal. After some great strength by Stephen Milne.
It's the way that a great player like Robert Harvey's career should go, you know. He carried the load for so long, always had the best tagger, had to work hard. Now in the twilight, some of the young Turks are doing that, and he can just float through the middle. He still works so hard, but he's now got 3 goals on the ball.
Blake over the top of the ball, held up by Sandilands, will have another bounce.
Well, for Fremantle, their defensive work on the big forwards has been good, particularly, as we said, Langmuir on Kaczynski and also the young fella Thornton on Revolt. It's just this midfield that's started to look dangerous.
First time the Saints been in front for about half an hour of football as Baker picks the ball up at half-back flank. Look at this, Saints everywhere on the outer side. Graham gives it up to Montagna, has a bounce. One of the few players who can get it to come up to him again tonight. 2 bounces and a long kick forward up towards full forward position. Del Santo did well enough as he grabbed without the ball, Dermot.
Well, you end up handballing it.
Got it out anyway. Thompson's in there as well. Now Del Santo again, close to the boundary line. Umpire said he was over the line and out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in 40 metres out from the Saints goal. Let's have a look at this.
Bounces straight back into his arms. Off the deck.
That was paid last week 20 times.
Yeah, the only thing is that Matty Carr is watching the ball, has the ball in front of him all the time as the ball comes in. Did he have his arms clamped around him? Well, maybe on occasions this season that might have been a free.
Sandlands gets the tap to Langmuir. Intercepted Thompson's kick, but he did well again. Langmuir got the smother away. Peak on hands and knees. He's been a good play tonight so far. It's picked up by Grover. He slams it on the boot and just gets some distance. A good kick too. It bounced off the head of McFarlane. Good hard play all round. Maguire goes in and out of trouble and gets his kick of beauty. Finds Harvey at half-forward flank.
Coming up for his 8th possession, his best effort against the Dockers, 35, round 14 of 96.
Heath Blackett is. He's just got to get tight. He's got to get tighter on Harvey.
He's running back the clock tonight. 3 goals in those 8 possessions. This is Baker. Probing kick. Deep into attack. Langmuir put his body in. That's his stuff. And Thornton heads for the boundary line.
You cannot pay that.
Milne to the opposite pocket, taken by Peckett. Peckett's in the pocket about 25 metres out.
He pickpocketed it. Well, he did. And the thing is, have a look at the St Kilda play. Milne is ready to pounce. Fair enough, the line, it goes over the line, but
he's got to hit it somewhere. He can't hit it.
Well, the one thing is, he's knocked it away from the direct opponent who is there.
The whole rule is now you don't dive on the ball, you've got to knock it out if you're on your knees.
It was a fair distance though, wasn't it?
It was. There was enough scope to suggest that there was some vagueness in that rule there.
It was a full wedge. There's Peckett.
Close to man.
Lifts it high, straight over the umpire's head. The veteran.
I'll be the devil's advocate. What else was he doing?
He's knocking it away from Milne. He's on the ground. Watch this. Look where Milne. If Milne's not there, I would say pay it every day of the week.
Oh, yeah. Well, mate, he was going for out of bounds. Let's face it.
But you give the umpire something to hang his hat on, and Milne is there.
He's got to hit it out somewhere, Gary.
He does. Out of bounds, he hit it.
Oh.
He was in the corridor.
Well, he's out of bounds too now.
This is a shame.
That's what he was trying to do, boys.
He was
trying
to do it. But sometimes the umpires say yes within reason. You disguise that well enough. Was it your sole intention?
Yeah, what other
he had the intent of getting it over the boundary line, but number one, he wanted to keep it away from Milne.
No, he wanted it out.
He's entitled to hit it. But anyway, 12 points the difference. Gary is swapping sides tonight. He was bagging the umpires earlier. Now he's back on the bandwagon again.
You blokes are black hats, you.
3 goals in a row to the Saints. They've kicked 4-1 this quarter to lead by 12 points. Baker, hello, what was that off the ball there?
Late on Farmer.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Revolt will get a free kick for holding here. It's happening at all ends of the ground. So Nick Revolt will kick St Kilda's 4th if he puts it through. Look at this, Blake. No, nothing. Didn't get him.
Jeff Farmer's having an absolute nightmare of a night. Has had no impact whatsoever on the game.
He's actually gone head-hunting in the last few minutes, Jeff Farmer, and I reckon that's why Blake's thought, right, well, here's a side on hip and shoulder. Jeff's tried to run into a few at top speed in the last 3-4 minutes.
19 goals, 23 from set shots this season for the skipper, Nick Revolt. 19 goals, 24. He's having a shocker with his set shots.
He's in the horrors when he's kicking for goal, Nick Revolt, and as someone that thinks so very much about his game, he's thinking too much about it.
He used to be impeccable, didn't he?
He did, yep.
Walker's first possession.
He's like a good golfer in good form, but doesn't have the best swing in the world, Dennis. Breaks down under pressure.
I see. Okay, Cook's got it. Cook at right half back. Suddenly the Dockers have hit a brick wall. Across the ground he goes. Sandilands takes the mark. Spots a man moving. That's Peak. Now they can build from here.
Hard work at this kid.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he?
Well.
Yep.
Peak. Nothing much on down the ground. Where's Pavlich? Well, he goes for distance towards centre half forward. Won't reach Pavlich. The 2 champion centre-half forwards in the vicinity. Revolt paid the mark. 10 metres behind was Pavlich. Revolt beat Polak, swings it out very wide. Sliding in the mark is taken by Kazitsky. He'll be sore tomorrow. He's taken a few good hits.
That's where it's dangerous. Look at these secure runners.
Montagna has been very good, and he can kick it a long way and with precision. Sets it up this time. In front, Langmuir did well. Langmuir wanting 50. It wasn't there. Grover. Little chip to Hazelby, up from the right back pocket. Paul Hazelby, 5.5 minutes out from half-time. The Dockers need a goal or two, back to Langmuir. But the run has ebbed from them at the moment.
the wrong side, really. They had a couple of numbers out this side, but to go back there is usually the play to get the ball moving, but it was a wrong move then.
Monday, promising youngster. Veteran Carr, he played 28 games for the Saints. He's at left half back. They're attacking their way up Subiaco Oval. This is Grover. He's at centre half back. It's 11th possession, and Hamill hasn't had too many.
Everyone's got a man right now.
Hamill's been in terrific form though. Hamill's had 7. Surprises me. It's that sort of play. Maguire over the shoulder. Harvey got it away. This is Peckett hard against the boundary line. Well, amongst 3 Saints, Kazetsky got it to Revolt. Montagna again, he's finding space on that outer side. Kicks towards the square. Geary could have been held, doesn't matter. Takes the mark.
Yeah, good call, Dan. He was held about 5 metres further back, directly in front. The Dockers have just lost their link running through the middle now. They're running wide to receive, and they're running hard to actually get on the end of a short chip kick out or into space to receive a kick. But to run to receive coming from behind and link up and get general flowing play, they've lost that at the moment because St Kilda are dictating through the middle.
Lee Montagna, 11 possessions, 6 inside 50s. We've seen that to good effect on the outer side, just getting free out there, and really in the last 10 minutes hurting Fremantle.
And put Heath Black to the sword too, then.
Fraser Garrick, point blank range, comes in and kicks the goal. He's got 3.
He's had a super game, Lee Montagna. His initial job was to play on the most dangerous ball winner in the side, in the Fremantle side, and that's Heath Black. He did that job to perfection, so much so that Black had to go and try and calm the influence of Robert Harvey. Now he's just playing out on the wing on his own merits. Black's going back out to him now, so he's had that good a night. Montagna, then he's turned the tables on Heath Black. He's now got him as an opponent. That's a fair feather in the cap.
So big phrase. He's got 3 goals now, 2 in this term, 1 in the opening quarter.
Pavlich in the middle.
Blake got the tap. It comes out to Cook though, and it goes to Peake. Chip out wide to Hazelby. Marks on centre wing. Peake kept running very well. Ignored. Peake. Hazelby's kick was out wide to Grover, who, as we said, has been very busy. Runs in and out of trouble though. Now it comes out to Carr. Carr long up and under. Here's a chance for McFarlane from behind. Couldn't quite hold it. Over the line, out of bounds for a throw in.
Jeff, he's just simmering at the moment. He's just simmering. I just think they might take him off the stove. Get him off the stove at the moment before he boils over. He's just looking for trouble.
Well, he's cooking donuts at the moment, Dermot, because that's his stats.
What about the job of Stephen Baker, though, boys, on Farmer?
Well, there you go. Well, he is cooking the donuts, then, isn't he? The baker.
He's going beautiful.
Goddard's got it in the pocket.
That all just fell into place and we didn't know what we were doing.
That's right.
That's our best work.
That's some of our best work. We didn't know where we were going.
Thompson's got it. He kicks it out wide. Blake goes up, couldn't quite hold it. Good play. Thumped along the ground there by Voss. It's going to come back though. It's picked up by Shammer, who was sore early in the game. Now he's in big trouble. 3 versus 1. The boundary was his sanctuary. Let's go to the dock. Pete Larkins.
Yeah, Nick Revolt sitting right up in the square for St Kilda Red. The physio's been out to him chatting about his right shoulder. We know he's had the AC joint on top of his broken collarbone. Just a little bit sore, but he looks like he's getting his arms up for those attempted marks without any trouble.
Boundary throw in. Sandilands again knocks it down. Josh Carr, a fumble. Matthew Carr goes in there.
Well, Big Fraser's now at the centre half forward. He'd be filthy, I reckon. He's just looking at a big bag. All the possession winners are in the Fremantle jumpers at the moment.
Yeah, look at Fraser. He's just walking in a grumpy mood.
Yeah, he's not happy.
I don't want to be out here. It's like walking back to his bedroom, sent to bed early.
Sandilands again down to Hazelby. 16 possessions, as you saw. Trying to dig it out down there was Powell. Milne showed a lot of courage to go after it. The ball out.
That's described as he's in a huff.
Looking at the Fremantle forward line, the one bloke where the ball's most likely to go to now is Medhurst with Voss. And that's not the bloke you want to be contesting inside 50.
Fremantle bring it away. The kick comes from Carr. Played forward by Dodd. across the boundary line. So this is not bad for Fremantle, just consuming a little time and regaining their composure. His first victory as a coach, Chris Connolly, came against the Saints, round 2, 2002. Fremantle winners by 3 points that day. Throwing in Sandilands. Well, time and time again he's knocking it down, and generally this is his target. Carr to Carr, 60 metres out. Matthew sends it long towards the kick-off line. Interesting in his approach there. McConnell lost his way, but was he held?
Yeah,
Get a free.
Check just to jump.
Who's getting the kick? Pavlich, I think.
You keep putting your arms around him or keep playing the freeze.
That look says something.
You were the first one.
Ka-ching.
Maguire on Pavlich it is.
Oh, not much in that either.
I think he thought it was the earlier one from Goddard, but it wasn't a whole lot in it. And as the Saints boys keep saying, it's his third goal from free kicks tonight. It's going to Pavlich though now.
It was Maguire on Pavlich.
Going to total him up. There goes the kick from Pavlich, and he puts it through. Two halves make a hole. Pavlich has got 3.
Now, they are big free kicks in the context of this game. They are massive decisions that are being made. And I guess let's just have a look to the right there. Arms around.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew Pavlich, is he being denied his run at the ball? That's what the umpire would say. So free kick paid.
But he did work it. He ran backwards with him to accentuate it. Now, this is a good test for Goose Maguire. He's got 100 kilo, 6'4" forward to contend with.
Okay, Saints fans, roll the videotape. There it is, right of screen. Has Maguire got hold of Pavlich? Little drag on the arm there.
Pavlich runs backwards, so the umpire thinks he's been held all the way through that.
I've got to apologise to the umpire. I reckon that's a kick.
Well, he wasn't going to be in the contest. That's the only thing. And Pavlich wasn't going to be in it anyway.
Yeah. Gee, dangerous there. A lot of weight on those free kicks. Anyway, the ball comes out. Shammer goes hard at it. A big 40 seconds for the Dockers here. They've dragged one back. There he is. The Wiz has got a touch off the deck. His first of the night. Graham for St Kilda. At the line. And Powell comes out and takes a strong mark. Gets a free kick for a push anyway. 31 seconds to go. 13 points to difference. Still time for a goal for either side as Peckett has it. Saints will be happy just to close it down now, you'd think.
Just a Langmuir loose across half back. So they don't want to give one up here, the Dockers.
Peckett runs around his man, knocks the clock down to 10 seconds from now. Gary almost. Langmuir holds the ball up, did it well, kicked it out to the defensive side of the ground. Over the line, out of bounds, and we're going to throw in. No, there we go. The sign goes with the ball over the line and out of bounds. Doesn't matter. At half-time, we've got a game thanks to Matthew Pavlich's free. First bounce of the third quarter with St Kilda leading by 13 points at Subiaco. They get the first free kick out of the centre.
Powell got it. Gave it to Peckett. He kicks towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Ball. Just forward of the wing. Featured at half-time. Very impressive young man. Kicks inside the forward 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Should have been punched by the Dockers. As it was, it fell forward. Harvey got a hand pass away. Opportunity for Shammer. Comes forward to the pack. Taken by Powell. Slips it away nicely. Harvey dwelt on the hand pass. The high ball comes in from Graham. Going back down there was Langmuir. Olak. Walker. Parker. And eventually they clear the zone. Hazelby to Peake. Deep in the back pocket. Shammer. Peake once more. They need to be careful. It needs a kick. Hazelby to Shammer.
Cool, got out of jail.
Well, they didn't actually, because Matthew Carr dropped the mark, and now it's out of bounds. Should have marked it. Good pressure by the Saints, locking it in there.
There is a time. There is a time then too when you get the ball on the move under a bit of pressure. You kick the ball 50 metres down the line, and your half forward has to read it and get on the end of it.
Langmuir gets the sweeping handball out. Hazelby hard at it, did it well. Palmer for his first touch. Downfield free kick.
Just be careful. Downfield.
The push was against Hazelby from Baker, rode him into the ground, made him earn it. And the Wiz gets his first legitimate possession on centre wing. A minute 48 into the third quarter. Pavlich couldn't quite get his hands up quickly enough. Goddard runs in and out of trouble, or into trouble at least, and Black to the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, just mentioning Luke Penny finished for the night with his knee injury. He's only played 8 games this year with a posterior cruciate and really jarred it again early on in that first quarter, and he'll be struggling the rest of the season.
All right, Pete, that's not good news for the Saints fans. Heading towards the finals. Looks scrappy at the moment. Sandilands wraps up his opponent. We'll have a ball up. There's Luke Penny sitting pensively on the boundary line.
Had a super year last year, Luke Penny. Conceded very little, but just hasn't been able to get going this year.
Doesn't that last tackle a bit high on the Saints?
Absolutely.
That bench, though, Thompson and Del Sando just having a breather, so the midfield is going to finish pretty strong for St Kilda.
Crowley hooks it down towards full forward, going back. Maguire spilled it. Pavlich, a chance at his fourth. Is it on line? That's the post.
You have to say Goddard's done well since going back. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity, McFarlane, but he's getting valuable time in the pressure spot.
Voss, a short one. It's coming back though. The umpire finished waving the flag. Now Goddard out of the back pocket, drives it long. That's a beautiful kick and a wonderful lead. Revolt hard running from half forward. He went about 50 metres to get that one.
He gave the check bump in the true half-forward position, about 50 metres, as you called, Dennis, before he marked.
Montagna to half-forward. Hamill was up, had it knocked away by Grover. In front, Hazelby, taken down by Harvey. Hamill kept it going. Goldwood picked up by Ackland, tackled by Grover. It was a timely tackle. Players surging past Goldwood for the Saints, and Grover latched onto Ackland and brought him down. This is Peak, who's been impressive. Kicks towards the outer side wing. Overcommitted was Maguire. Away it quickly, Jones. Pavlich playing a couple of them. Flips it away, beautifully done. Hazelby from 65 metres out. It should be McFarlane's in there.
Yeah, it's a good effort, Pavlich, out of the win.
Super, wasn't it?
So many elements to him of football involved in that, wasn't there?
Absolutely. He let Maguire, he ran him past the ball, motioned him past the footy, and then he has the second, this is the throw, and then he has to contend with the support run here, St Kilda get. This Aussie Jones, he shields the ball, pushes it out wide. The little give, I mean, that's every aspect of footy, as you call it.
And McFarlane's missed.
It's not a great kick.
So that's now.
Great. Oh, look, he normally gets them online for a pretty ugly action. He's like Max Walker. He can bowl. It just looked ugly.
Oh,
how important is a kick?
That was as awkward as you like. He looked like a pacer that broke going in there, didn't he?
That's his normal action. It's
He got out of step with himself. That was his bad kick.
Mate, he's a terrible action.
On the drop.
Look at this one.
He's thinking left or right about now.
Yeah.
No, that's the way he kicks. It's a terrible drop, but that's his normal action.
You get flogged at Oz kicking like that.
That's right.
You watch every time he has a kick from now on. You watch the action. It's exactly the same. It's just a bad drop, that one.
Well, it was a bad result for the Dockers. That was their big chance to get back into the game. 2 goals, 1 all at that end to Luke McFarlane. Hits this with the stalemate.
The reason I say that is because when he was at Hawthorn, I spent hours and hours with him, just
paid off. So you're the problem.
You're the problem. Oh, you should have seen him before he got there. No, mate, he's just got a bad flaw in his action, but he normally gets them going pretty straight.
All right. We'll have a throw in at half-forward flank for the Saints.
Shammer's now running with Robert Harvey. So 3 goals in the first half, wins him a new opponent.
So they started this third quarter 13 points down the Dockers. They've had 1 hit the post from Pavlich. An absolute sitter missed by McFarlane. So they're kicking themselves into this game early in the third quarter. Any chance to win it is picked up by Black. Black along the boundary line. A good kick too. And it goes over the line out of bounds with true half-forward flank position for the Fremantle Dockers. They've got the haircuts going, these Dockers, haven't they?
It's a great kick they had. I don't know if that's about to wizard, but that was 2 on 4 the Fremantle players here, so the kick from Black was just beautiful.
So throwing at half-forward flank for the Dockers. Big Sandilands again. Ackland did well enough. Hamill and Grover having a great battle. Langmuir stood up in the bump, got sandwiched, comes out the Peckett. Little smother applied there by Peak up towards the half-forward flank position. He goes for the Saints. Ball went hard, and the ball didn't quite get grabbed off it or grab the ball himself. A stalemate as the ball goes over the line out of bounds for a throw-in, half-forward flank for St Kilda.
It's amazing, just a junior veteran, a junior rookie for the Dockers. Young Peake is one bloke who might be able to help himself with something. He gives him so much run with good pace from behind the ball. They need to get him into the game and work him into a loose man.
Well done by Lenny Hayes, at least initially. Now he's got a problem. Tied up, we'll have the ball up.
Well, the Saints have got Brett Voss and Ozzie Jones as loose men across half-back. That is going to make it very hard unless Fremantle run the ball up and kick over the half-forward line.
Well, that kid Peake in his 8th game, he's the one with pace and covers the ground very well. I try and free him up correspondingly against those Saints.
Revolt did brilliantly down into the path of Harvey, went looking for Powell, socket away there by Carr through the centre circles. We've got a Wilson and umpire Woodcock is playing the free kick and actually playing the wrong way, but it's going to Bosch. Umpire Woodcock, a bit of a regular in Friday night football. We've seen a lot of him. Jones goes down towards right half forward and Baker spilled it. Time to get away, no pressure at all. Kicks inside the forward 50. Langmuir goes back, reaching over the top down there. Polak almost the mark. Did Hamill have the football? Well, I don't think Polak did. So off and away. The second mouse gets the cheese.
The way the ball went in, it was from Voss, who's a loose man, over to Jones, who's a loose man. Then the ball comes in.
Now it comes to Langmuir, to Dodd. He's at left half back, chips it along the wing. Big leap, well done by McFarlane. Started behind and left in front. From left centre wing, goes down towards Pavlich, coming back with courage, Voss, but then he's got a free. Bosch knocked it into the path of Thornton. He could have been taken high. Still he battles after the football in there. Chance for Powell, backing up. Montagna did brilliantly. Played it to Peckett and Peckett's away.
And Peckett at defensive 60 has his second bounce. Runs the half-back. He's run a long way, just got it off in time. Graham gets it inside to Harvey. Harvey's kick up towards the lead. Oh, beautiful kick it was too. And a great mark taken at full stretch by Kaczynski. Gets the handball going to Hayes. Hayes up towards Gehrig. He's got to the front again. Great kick, great mark. And Big Fraser has got his chance to kick goal number 4 tonight. As soon as he gets those pants dragged out of his backside there, have himself a massive wedgie.
What a wonderful kick, Dave. That he just dropped it into space. That is so difficult to guard against for Shane Parker.
So when he could breathe. So Fraser Gehrig lining up for goal number 4, and this is the ultimate insult for Fremantle, as I said, with McFarlane missing from point blank range and Pavlich on the snap hitting the post. The Saints get it up the other end, and Gehrig makes them pay with his 4th goal of the night.
What's good ball movement. I get back to this half-back line, though. When you've got Voss back there and Ozzie Jones with no opponent, you're going to have to be pretty precise to get it in. And once they rebound through the middle of the ground, they were able to find some runners in the overlap. And that kick, you're right, Dermot, went from one side of the ground to the other. And if there were numbers back for Fremantle, well, they wouldn't be protecting that space. And that was the exact right spot to kick it to. And Big Fraser, he's been one of the more important players on the ground. Not the most dominant, but more important.
So Fremantle not taking their chances, and as a result, they've fallen off the pace to the tune of 17 points. Blake knocks it down. After the football goes Thompson. Milne tries to soccer it in the wrong direction. Ball gets a hand pass to Harvey. Harvey tumbles one down towards centre half forward. Revolt was in front, knocked away by Thornton. Polak leads back in the race. They've got the numbers, but they didn't count on this man. Fraser hasn't got the football, surely. Hamill gets a hand pass away to Del Santo. Del Santo sends it long towards the pocket. Clever mark is taken down there by Kaczynski.
The real worry for Fremantle is Polak and Thornton. They had planned to tag team Thornton on Rewalt and get relief from Polak, but with the ruckman coming on, it's allowed Ackland or Blake, it's allowed this man to go forward. So those two boys I mentioned, Polak and Thornton, have to run out the whole game, and they're both going to run out of steam.
Well, Kaczynski goes around and misses, or doesn't. No, he doesn't get it.
Polak just didn't process earlier. He knocked the ball on when he was in space on his own, rather than grabbing the ball and kicking it strong down the line.
Well, Revolt is going to run Thornton into the ground. Polak is coming back from injury and doesn't have that workload under his belt to go around the whole forward line with Kazitsky.
What about Fraser? That was a free kick if Pavlich wasn't the second term, surely.
Yep, sure.
6 goals to 2 since quarter time in favour of St Kilda. 18-point margin.
Seized up a bit here now.
Mundy over the top. Now the Dockers need to get going. Shammer gets it off to Carr. Carr kicks up towards the half-forward flank position. McFarlane comes out again, takes a big mark. Now can he kick it properly? This time he does to the big man. Sandilands marks right on the 50.
Not sure it was the right spot, but Pavlich running to the square.
Yeah. Sandilands now kicks long to the square. Could make the distance. No, they fly. And through for a rush behind.
Yeah, the kick to space, Gaz. That's what you're talking about into Pavlich's leading space.
Because Maguire had fallen over in the marking contest. Have a look at this. Maguire falls over. Pavlich goes. Now, Goddard does the right thing, but he's got 10 metres to make up. He just needs to kick it into the goal square and let Pavlich run onto it.
27 plays 64. Lucy Jones, precise, comes to ball. Nobody takes him, so he's away. Runs outside the defensive 50. Plenty of time. Measures the kick towards the half-forward line. Revolt, up he goes. Thornton did okay. Knocked it away. 3 on 2. Thornton one of the 3. Great effort by Revolt. Got him down. In comes Montagna. And the ball slides across the boundary line. Wonderful second effort by that young champion. So a boundary throw in. The Saints looking better. Good crowd.
Sits defensive side of the pack.
Good atmosphere. Nice night. Montagna. Hackett. Mundy. Down he goes. Dodd got the arms free. Tries to go back to Mundy. Montagna. Was he taken high? He was. He'll get the free kick on the wing.
Well, Langmuir's the player now back in the hole for Fremantle, although now he's got Kazitsky, so that means that Polar will be the player who's free.
So Lee Montagna has it on centre wing for St Kilda. He's had a good night tonight. He's grabbed from behind by Mundy. So Montagna has it. 15th possession for Lee Montagna. It's short to Baker. Off hands. Chance now for the Dockers. Hazelby handballed it out in front of Carr, who got cleaned up by Maguire. Both hard on the ball. Good play by Hazelby. Got it out. Now a chance again. The long kick forward by McFarlane to an open goal. This time he puts it through. He kicks it from 55 and misses from 10. It doesn't matter. He's got his third. Damn, that must have been the one you taught him.
It was a good kick. It was a good kick.
He had to taught Josh Carr and Danny Maguire to go up the footy like that, and then the presence of mind of Hazelby just to go off the ground to McFarlane. He had players to the right, Farmer and one other running free, but he backed himself.
One thing you've got to look at the Luke McFarlane kicking action. The left arm, which should be outwards, comes right across his chest when he actually kicks the ball.
Josh Carr was terrific in the centre. It wasn't a good hand pass. It was a character-building hand pass. He went after it. And then Hazelby off the ground. There's Carr again. They combine. Hazelby floats one down towards centre half forward. Pavlich sold a couple under the football. Will it set for him? Now Farmer has to do something. Not the way to go. Was he taken high? Thought he was no free kick. Well, again, he's arguing with the umpire, but it needs a chase.
He's going to get off. They're going to take Jeff Farmer off right there.
He dropped to the ground, akin to a dive.
In front, Hamill. Well, I thought he may have...
It wasn't just that, it was the way that he got up looking at the umpire without following on.
Well, I thought he may have deserved a free, but that doesn't matter. He didn't get one. Meantime, Lenny Hayes overran it. Grover to Mundy. Mundy across to Hazelby. Hazelby sets a man a task on the outer side. That's Carr, or is it Crowley? Edged under the football in any case. It was Crowley. And Jones has taken the mark. Looks towards half forward and Kazitsky. Out he comes. Pollack was there step to step. Good enough. This is Carr. Feeds it back towards the middle. They're fighting hard, the Dockers. Langmuir. Sandlin set a task. Knocked away down there by Blake. Opportunity for Crowley. Kept it in. Now a chance for the Dockers. Not his best kick. How will it bounce? Over the head of Owen Sundry. Leading back down there is Goddard. Farmer, that's better. Good tackle. Farmer goes again. Baker gets a hand pass away. That's out of bounds. Well played by Stephen Baker.
A couple of times, here's the Farmer up.
Watch him drop the ground.
Yeah, that's right. That's free play on. There's the worry. He stops But don't worry about that. The last couple of times, Pavlich has turned Maguire inside out. Maguire's gone to ground. There's an opportunity to play up the ground for Pavlich, leaving the space behind.
Kaczynski off for Ackland coming on. He was a bit slow getting on there. In the meantime, Big Sandilands misses, and they're just missing their chances here, the Fremantle Dockers. It's 10 points the difference.
Kaczynski led for a chest mark on the lead out in the other half forward flank, and he stayed down for only about 5 seconds, but he didn't jog off, he just walked off from there.
Well, Ackland wasn't ready. That's what I was looking at. I actually missed seeing Sandilands' effort at the goal because
good effort.
I'm more worried about Kaczynski. Doc Larkins will have a full report in a moment. Hayes will be going hard at the ball. It's going to be a free kick. He didn't have it. Play on, says the umpire. Black on his left boot. Kicks it out on the full. The Saints will get it.
Hazelby's really starting to exert some influence in the midfield here. That deft little toe poke which put McFarlane into space, starting to find the footy into areas as we see.
It doesn't look good, Justin.
He got up and he walked for about 50, 60 metres and walked straight for the bench. He didn't even jog for it.
Luke Penny next to him out of action. That is bad news for the Saints.
Tipping it's a calf because he just grabbed down there very low, straight up.
We'll have a look in a moment. Pete Larkins will have all the information for us. We'll go to the dock at the first break of play. In the meantime, Baker kicks inside. Right, let's go down to the dock. We'll get the resulting kick in a moment from Kane Ackland. Pete, what have we got?
Well, I know Dermot thinks it's a calf bet. I actually thought he did a hammy in this stretch. He's just reacting. He's had it earlier in the year, and we know he was very distressed when he did it before. Stays down here, and you can see him react, and he gets up and goes straight to the bench after this, Ed, and look, he wasn't limping, but I think it may be more of a calf injury, and they're just trying to ice him up, but we'll get back to you.
All right, so we're back to calf, was it in the end, Pete? We'll come back to...
definitely hamstring, sorry.
Okay,
I got distracted by Dermot. I'm going for the hammy.
Okay, Ackland is going for goal, and he gets it, so that's a big result for the Saints. Something out of a bad 5 minutes of play.
Well, that is bad news for the Saints. Well, look, he didn't clutch it. He didn't look like he'd been blow darted from the stand. So hopefully he's just got a tinge, a little feeling there, so he can rest up and get it right before the finals. That kicks that off the instep and it corrects itself.
That's what he can do, though. He can go forward, Ackland, and kick a goal.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Dr. Peter Larkins, the ice seems to be on the quad on the top of his leg there. Justin Kaczynski, we're looking at the replay again. Pete, tell us what you can see down there, mate, as we see him at full stretch.
Yeah, well, look, Ed, it's certainly going to be the thigh injury, and they're icing the quad. I'm just going back, Ed, round 12 this year. He did that at training lead into round 12, the same quad, his kicking leg. And he missed about 4 weeks after that, so he will know straight away what that means, Ed.
All right, at round 21, Penny off the ground with a knee injury. Now Kaczynski off with a quad injury that has already kept him out for a month. That could be the season if it is as bad as what he did at training. That's the situation for the Saints. Schwartz and Stone are the next two tools to come back in for St Kilda, with Fisher and also Hudson gone in the back line for the Saints. It could be unravelling.
Here's Beckett. Breaking away, left half forward, kicks inside the forward 50. The Dockers arrive first. Mundy gets the crumb, hand passes to Shammer. Into space, Josh Carr getting busy. Nobody near him. He can run 50 or 60 metres here. A couple of bounces. Now he's stopped. He's stopped shy of the wing. Little chip, man comes to him. Peak, well done, young man. Presented himself. Peak on the wing, goes towards half forward, and Medhurst really sighted, got out with courage. Came across and took the mark on his chest.
Even though the Kaczynski injury brought Ackland on and he kicked a goal, for the dynamics of this game as well, that injury could have effect on the result here tonight.
Sandilands, big fist away. Jones did well, slaps it out wide. Beckett back towards Jones. Carr, tackle, nicely done, Carr, and again he applied a couple of tackles there, got little help. Coming through Del Santo. Del Santo goes with the outside of the boot and pops it across to Voss. Voss wants to go. Medhurst was creeping up behind him. Voss goes down towards half forward. Milne. Milne looks towards right half forward and Revolt, and that's a good mark. Strong hands, 70 metres from goal. And the young champ side being challenged here as much by injury as by the scoreboard. Grover, terrific goal.
See, with Kazitsky off, it turns into a 4-on-1 when the ball goes deep into the goal square.
And immediately, the Dockers seem to have a bit more run in their legs. Cook over the top, the last 5 minutes of the quarter. This is the big 5 minutes for the Fremantle Dockers to make a charge at playing in September. Pavlich, big diving mark on centre wing. 4.5 minutes to go in the quarter. They've got to get one back. The Fremantle Dockers, you think, going into the final term of this round 21 match. Great play by Peckett. Gets it out to Harvey. Harvey now gets it moving to Goddard. Goddard spots up a man. It's Del Santo on centre wing. He holds up the play. Has Baker on at centre half forward. Ignores him at the moment. Wants a lead.
Good running.
Now he gets one. Baker kept going. He was at centre half forward. Now he marks it on the boundary line. 60 metres out from goal. Garrick leads to the pocket. That one's ignored. Now he goes up. Sets it up for the front of the square. Ackland and Reebok. Players spinning around in the tackles left, right and centre. Mundy gets it out to Black. Black, good handle out to Walker. Walker runs the defensive 50, taps it on the ground. He's got nothing to kick to. So he goes for a high up and under for hang time. It worked because Sandlin's got a cross. Now it's Medhurst who picks it up on centre wing. He goes to the outer side of the ground. It was a beautiful kick in the end. Shammer around the body. Peake has got away. Chance now for the Dockers. Peake lines it up, kicks long to the square. Farmer, Pavlich, and Goddard, the third man there, the only one for the Saints, takes them up.
His opponent, Luke McFarlane's out here on the wing. I mean, you've just got to get your dangerous forwards in a dangerous position.
Goddard, clever kick, running to space as Voss. Saints gutsy at the moment. Taking Fremantle on. This is Montagna. Comes back to Harvey. Harvey across the ground. Well-weighted kick. The old heads combining. Peckett from the wing. Down towards Thompson, who takes the mark and decides to stop about 80 metres from goal. Sandlin's walking the boundary in the foreground, as you saw.
Langmuir just sitting himself in front of Fraser Gehrig. That's why they're reluctant to go long. Reebok gets back there now.
Farmer off.
And Maguire is limping off the ground behind play. Pete Larkins, what's going on? Matt Maguire cannot move hardly.
He's done a hip flexor, Ed. Did it about a minute ago. Cannot walk at all, and I don't think he'll get back tonight. Right hip flexor, Matt Maguire.
Blake, it's carnage for the Saints. Long ball down towards full forward. Strong mark is taken by a tumbling Pollard.
This is unbelievable. They were flag favourites going in tonight. They won't be at the end, regardless of the result. This is just unbelievable.
They could lose this game now. They're just going to lose all their flexibility, all their kingpins in the certain positions.
Flexibility being the operative word there, Dermot, as well, because they're as stiff as you like out there at the moment on the bench. Penny, Kazitsky, and now Maguire. Three big players for the Saints. Their backline has been decimated in the last fortnight. In the meantime, Cook gets the handball over. Carr puts his head over the ball, did it well, then was dragged to the ground. Picked up by Shammer. Shammer gets the handball working out to Josh Carr. Carr now goes up the half-forward flank position. Grover took the mark, then ran into trouble. Good play by Voss. The kick away is from Blake. Up towards half-forward flank. Standing underneath. A good play there by Schofield. He gets it down to Cook. They just can't get a handle on it at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers, to make the most of the situation. And with a minute 25, the Saints hang tough. Let's have a look at Maguire again here. Going forward, just got a little knock there on the leg. That was it.
Just turned his leg inward.
It's as innocuous as you like, but there you go. It's certainly serious business. Free kick to the Saints in the meantime, and that free kick is going to go to Montagna.
He's been terrific. Kicks inside the forward 50. Interesting manoeuvre. Like the manservant Cato. And getting up and doing a little kick in there. Well, not kicking, but you know what I mean. Just getting that leg extended. And the free kick is going to the Dockers. Taken by Nolan.
Maguire puts a hand up, acknowledges it straight away. So it did look innocuous, but it's certainly debilitating off the ground. And this is a test of the ruthlessness of this Fremantle side, if they have got any ruthlessness in them, because they've got Revolt in the back half now. They've got Goddard at full back. They own the driver's seat if they're good enough.
Cook, a high ball towards the wing. Langmuir goes up. Couldn't complete the mark. Del Santo goes in. Langmuir applies a tackle on Blake and the ball doesn't come out. So it bounces. The clock runs down to 28 seconds.
That's that flexibility to talk about. Revolt having to go back now. You want him in your forward line all day long, but they've just run out of soldiers in the back half.
What about the duel we've got, though?
That is the sorry sight. We know that Matt Maguire's had that problem with osteitis pubis. Pete Larkins will give us all the news at 3/4 of time with 10 seconds to go. Thompson hoiks the ball out. Too late now for the Dockers to get a score. Boys, can we set up this last quarter? The importance for Fremantle, if they can win, they'll just about make the finals. For St Kilda, they have to win this game to stay in third spot and not have to play the West Coast Eagles first week of the finals. That is how important it is. That's the story of the night. Justin Kazitsky sits on the bench with a quite happen to St Kilda with all these injuries in a moment.
Start of the final term, Friday night football. Blake was up, knocked it down. Ball emerges with it, kicks towards half forward. Is there some holding on down there? Not Payne. Hamill's got the football to Powell. Powell 45 metres out, pushed as he kicks and misses. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, just to summarise, Dennis, certainly we know that Justin Kazitsky with his quad injury on his kicking leg, that's a 3 or 4 weeker last time. You'd have to think it's the same. Luke Penny with his chronic knee. Matt Maguire, the main concern. I don't know whether he gets a big knock on the front of the hip flexor and just a cork, which would be a good result, or whether he's torn it. We'll have to check on that. He won't be back tonight.
Whole action gone for the mark. Ackland gets a hand pass away to Ball, who pinpoints it brilliantly. And Harvey, who's got 3, has marked it centre half forward, kicks for space. Gearing comes on the lead and takes the mark and landed awkwardly. He landed very awkwardly. He's slow to get up.
Well, this is like a nightmare that is just unfolding. St Kilda supporters at home would be thinking, I'm going to wake up in a minute and everything's going to be all right.
Oh, big splits.
Oh, I think that would have hurt Parker more than big throws, but he got the splits. It might jar his back a bit.
Oh, he might have.
He saw from head to toe before the game, I reckon. You can add a few other things.
Oh, yes. He might be singing soprano, I think.
It's a bit of a pirouette. Very balletic by the big guy. We can joke about it now because he seems to be okay.
There's so much at stake. And this story for St Kilda will continue to unfold. So we'll talk about it enormously, I know. But for Fremantle, let's not forget, season on the line, 17 points the margin, cards have fallen their way. Let's find out about them this quarter.
They've got to exploit it, don't they?
Absolutely, if they're good enough or ruthless enough to.
Poetic and Fraser, not normally in the same sentence. I guess that makes him the go-to man as we head for home here. He's going to be so important. And he's missed. So they've missed 2 in the opening minute.
Pete Larkins, can I just ask you, for Matt Maguire, you said if it's a knock, well, okay, it might be a corky. If it's a tear, tell us what it means as far as weeks for St Kilda fans.
Well, the corky would be the best result, as you know, Ed, because that's just literally a bruise over the front of the hip flexor, and whilst he'd be sore for a couple of hours and out of action tonight, he's a good chance for next week. A hip flexor tear is just the extension of the quad, so it's his kicking leg, his right leg, Matt Maguire. Again, you're looking at 3 or 4 weeks if he's got a tear, Ed.
Okay, Pete, no worries at all. We'll get you to have a look at the video. Not that you can see a whole lot. It was almost off frame, but you'll find out after the game, that's for sure. Ackland now gets it out. So, St Kilda fans, stick with us for our post-match review. Boys, that's important tonight. Here's Harvey.
Doc's excited anyway.
Well, you can say that again. All the papers will be sitting there rolling record on Doc Larkin's report for the back page of the papers tomorrow. Here's Aussie Jones. The Saints winning $3 favourites tonight, as far as the bookies were concerned, to win the flag.
I was about to say that last kick, it would have been the revolt lead that would have been offered when he came down from the back line.
Powell's got it. Outside 50, kick up to Hamill, who's been quiet tonight over the line and out of bounds. Good battle that one, stopped Thornton.
Yeah, Thornton hasn't had him the whole night.
Keep your chins up, he's saying. Keep your chin up, not chins. That's a fourth Freudian slip. Keep your chin up, he's saying to his players.
Now, Grover's had Hamill for the evening.
This is Black, skirting the pack, sends a high ball out towards the wing. Going back is Crowley, big crunch. And it's going to be a free kick to the Dockers now. He seems to be okay, Crowley. In the first few minutes, the Dockers, there's Dodd, who was off earlier, he's hobbled again. In the first few minutes in this term, the Dockers have not been picking up their players. Now, it's one thing to be undermanned, but they're not short of players. You've still got to pick blokes up.
Exactly.
There's Sandilands, takes them out. They've got to outwork them and outrun them because there's not much in the bank as far as St Kilda are concerned. Medhurst missed it. Gearing up the ground. Well done, big fella. Gets a hand pass away to Ackland. Vacant 50. Black leads back in the race. It's a foot race back. Will it go out of bounds for the Saints? This will be a great result. The footy wins at Barracks for St Kilda. Soundry throw it in the pocket.
It was a great decision from Ackland because he had nothing at all and he just roosted it. There's the match up there. We're not joking. That is Pavlich v Revolt in Fremantle's forward half.
A promoter's dream.
Throw in. Push it from Siren. Nothing, says the umpire. Thompson, Powell's had a couple of snaps at goal. This one bounces again through for a behind. It's his second point of the quarter. Saints have now kicked 3 behinds for the term. The Dockers haven't looked like it at the moment.
Someone's got to spark them here. They just got to get running, Fremantle, because St Kilda, you know, are going to be brave. Lots at stake, but so too for Free a whole year, in actual fact.
All right, let's go down to Peter Larkins. What did you see in Fraser Garrick there, Pete?
Oh, well, it looks terrible, doesn't it? I mean, you can say, well, he's a combination. I'm going to say, he'd never saw osteitis pubis condition before. He did the splits there. He also does a medial strain on his right knee, but he's actually not moving too badly, Eddie. So I don't think he's come out of it with anything too nasty.
Hayes gets a hand pass away. Ball runs inside the 50, lines up. This time will it be on target? Well, it didn't have the carry. Polak goes back, takes a timely defensive mark.
See, with Revolt out of the forward line now, he would have had to follow him out on a lead. That would have run to an open goal square. That's where you're losing your potency up forward by these injuries.
Here's Dodd out of the back pocket. Not a good kick. Out of bounds on the full. That's terrible.
Box right in it. He tried to kick it to him then.
St Kilda have come out firing. Really taking the battle to the Dockers, who probably expected it to be easier. Up goes Walker, had it knocked away again. 2-on-1, favours the Saints. Thompson around the corner. Sandlands won't get there. Great mark, Hamill.
As you'd expect.
Could have a nose out of that.
He just ran straight at it. And the go to Grover, I'm not sure anything that Grover did was untoward. This is just Aaron Hamill's commitment. You expect nothing less. Yeah, if he goes back and kicks a goal, he'll be such a team lifter. And Fremantle haven't been able to raise a spark at all when the game and season is on the line.
This is gutsy by the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And often they can be defining sort of moments in the club. I know that they've had a lot of injuries early in this year, but they hung in long enough to success it.
Fraser Garrick is genuinely hobbled by what happened before.
Yep. Aaron Hamill steps inside the 50. Not a good kick. Well, it's 1-on-1 down there. Knocked down by Sandlands. Grover eventually gets back. Strong tackle brought him down. Polak goes to Josh Carr. Gee, that came out quick. Crowley couldn't hang on. That was his fast ball. Crowley goes back to Black. Black chips to the square. Sandlands, they're under pressure.
Pete, you got more thoughts on Fraser Garrick?
Yeah, I'm sure it's his groin rather than the knee. And I said he does the splits as we see, and he's really favouring the groin, and Parker's running him around a lot at the moment. He's stretching, the physio's chatting to him. Doesn't want to come off, but I reckon something might come out of his head.
Oh, gee, more news there for Saints. So we'll add Garrick to the list of injuries for the Saints, or at least question marks. Now, Hayes will be... St Kilda have had 6 inside 50s. Fremantle none so far. We've been playing nearly 8 minutes in the final term. It's been 22 disposals to 10.
Good effort.
That's the bloke who needed to get one. Pavlich.
Don't know if he got the first touch on it.
I don't think he did.
It's a super contest because he was 2-on-1 against quality in Revolt, and also Blake, I think, is the other bloke pushing back. So just to contest it was a good effort.
Watch the hands.
Look at that. Pavlich. No, he's got that. Yeah.
No, he probably got a flick on it, but not enough for the umpire to say no. Definitely took the ball off its course.
That's a pack.
They pay that every time.
Yep, we'll pay that.
So Matthew Pavlich, to give his team a shot at the finals, that's how dramatic this kick is. To get within 13 points. This will be his 4th goal of the night. From 48 metres out, Matthew Pavlich is an out-and-out superstar of the competition.
You're looking for some sort of sign that the realisation is you've just described it, Eddie, that it is the whole season. I mean, I would want to see Fremantle blokes out here urging and on top of the ground, just urging each other to get on with it. It just seems a bit business as usual at the moment.
Well, the thing that's going on here right now, 6 inside 50s for St Kilda this quarter. Revolt's in the back line. Kaczynski's on the bench. Gary's hobbled. They haven't kicked a goal.
Only Fremantle's second goal of the second half. Their last goal came at the 14-minute mark of the 3rd term. McFarlane got that from long range. 9-6, 11-7.
8 Saints in defence, so Grant Thomas trying to close it down. They've got 8 Docker forwards.
Rucks go at it. On the way down, Langmuir almost. Hayes will be working hard. Galsado went to ground, tries to flick it out. That was high, surely, and Hayes will get the free.
Final quarter, inside 50. St Kilda 6 for no goal. The Dockers 1 for 1 goal.
Quite remarkable. Talk about the national competition. Sorry, Ed.
Sorry, Dennis. I was trying to say Pavlich kicked 3 of the last 4 goals for the Dockers.
We saw Chris Judd last week. Matthew Pavlich tonight, certainly the best 2 footballers playing in Western Australia, come from Melbourne and Adelaide. 2 of the most exciting in the land. Boss comes back to Baker inside the centre square. Saints consume a bit of time here. Almost to the wall.
All players in one half, Dennis, and that wouldn't worry them. They know that they're more or less likely to kick 5 or 6 goals with the injuries they've got, but they just want to try and eat some time up here.
Bear in mind, 13 minutes to play. Goddard got it from Boss, and Revolt has presented across half forward now.
Got to win the footy back, Fremantle, and they've got to attack. Win the ball back and take some risks.
What they can't do is concede a goal. Fremantle playing to their survival. Kicks long down towards the 50. Big leap down there from Ackland, claiming the mark is Pollard. That's ambitious. He was wrestled down by Powell front on. And the umpire goes across and will ball it up. 13 points the margin. 12 and a half minutes out. Big leap. Ackland got first hands to it, no doubting that.
So under 12 and a half minutes left. Langmuir got the tap. Cook goes in hard. Battled hard all night. He got it out to Hazelby. Broke the tap and out and away. Hazelby kicks up towards the wing position. St Kilda got the numbers. Off hands. Pavlich almost got through. Picked up by Voss. Got it out to Blake. He's turned it over. Away to him now. Farmer from 55. Kicks to an open goal. Square. Missile.
And Luke McFarlane, rightly so. He's not demonstrative. He's very calm by nature, Luke McFarlane. He's jumped in the air and done a cartwheel here. Look, watch him in the bottom of the screen.
It's a horrible decision.
He is not a demonstrative young man, Luke McFarlane. But that is as angry as he gets.
All he had to do was pop it over the top. McFarlane into the open goal. Hasn't been a great night for the Wiz.
It's been less than that. That is just a horrible decision.
12 points, 2 kicks to difference now as Baker brings it out wide. Montagna to centre wing. Kicks up towards Hamill. Oh, beautiful mark. Did he pay it? Yes, said the umpire. Did enough. Aaron Hamill was the only man there for St Kilda. Had it hit the ground, they had the numbers, the Dockers. Hamill kicks inside. He's turned it over though. Garrick around the corner. Fraser Garrick has missed. Just as well. Who was that Dockers player? Missed it there going through for the mark. Went one-handed. It wasn't enough.
Well, this is where the Peter Bell influence needs to, they need to bear in mind their captain's efforts last year when they're going at this, last week rather.
I think it was Monday, but I won't send him to Coventry on that one.
Can't have
a replay.
Looking down.
Had the numbers there, the Dockers, but Garrick almost snatched it for St Kilda. Black's got it. 11 minutes to go. They're going to have 3 scores at least, the Fremantle Dockers, to snatch this game.
Oh, look, 11 minutes of league footy in this era, there's time to get 10 shots at the goal. And time is not an issue here. I know they're trying to slow the pace out of the game here, the Saints, but in the end they might slow up the game so they can't come back if the Dockers do hit the front.
Right.
Well, they do that.
To play for a week.
They don't deserve to be there. There's Peter Bell sitting in the coach's box. His effort last week is the sort of things that they need to show right now with their season on the line.
13 points the difference. The St Kilda side inside 50.
High ball. Coming back was Polak. Missed it. Hamill gets a hand pass to Blake. Montagna yet again. Sends one down towards full forward, bounces across the face of goal. Ball is outnumbered, did pretty well, runs out towards his 50, concedes about 15 metres to Peckett. Now he's 60 metres from goal and finds Harvey. A similar distance out as they skirt the perimeter. He goes in short. Oh, well done, Hazelby. Came up and stole it. Hazelby kicks long. Pavlich against 2. This will be interesting. Gathers the bouncing ball. McFarlane is forward. With him, running hard is Goddard. McFarlane looking for a free kick. He's going to get it. Oh, he's going to get it. Gee whiz.
Two arms around him.
Wow.
Around him and stop him from going the ball.
Tonight it has been and it hasn't been.
Well, he called 2 arms around. I thought the grabber, the jumper gets stretched by the one hand pull.
Yeah,
but is it enough?
That would have been no free kick. They've benefited substantially Fremantle today. I'll say it for the Saints.
3 goals from free kicks to Fremantle, none to St Kilda.
McFarlane. Okay, it's on you, Dermot. He's booted 3.
He does go from left to right, so this is a tough kick for him.
He had the good and the bad tonight. He's going right to left. He's gone right to left. The reverse swing. You are a genius, Derm. He's got 4. You taught him well.
Well, it couldn't have been any more important.
That was a miskick.
Don't be modest.
Oh, yeah, but this is the issue. This is the issue here.
Right, so he hasn't got him there. There, I mean,
that's what he's paid it for, the 2 hands there.
Can't pay it for that.
See, it's going to be a big week in football.
Can't pay it for that.
Well, another goal to Fremantle from a free kick. That's their 4th of the night. 3 of them to Luke McFarlane. Look at this. Is this a free kick, boys?
Not for mine, Eddie. No, not for mine. And
well, the umpiring is consistent on it tonight. It's just whether we think it is a free kick or not.
It got it early too. The whistle was early, wasn't it?
Well, it has been consistent on that tonight. Whether you think...
Well, no, it wasn't, because remember Fraser Gehrig.
Adrian Anderson,
the one that was left out.
I reckon should just put the checkbook away. I reckon he's paid his penalty now. Up forward it goes. That is Grant Thomas, of course. His dog gets the handball out. Grant for St Kilda. Montagna under pressure. Goddard slams it on the boot. Gets it outside the 50. It's 7 points the difference. Del Sandio over the top of the ball. Good stay in. Yes, said the uppy. Mundy up forward. Oh, offhand. Schofield couldn't quite reach enough for it. Picked up by Goddard now. He kicks it up. Big Sandilands is in the way. Leading his ground. He did. Now he slams it on the boot again. Out they come. Pavlich is there as well. Off hands. Couldn't take the mark. There was Thornton. Now the ball comes out again to the boundary line. It's coming straight back in. Look at this. Black gets the handball going to Carr. Out on the full. And the pressure relieves for a moment. 8 minutes, 39 seconds on the clock. St Kilda by 7 points. They've run out of soldiers, the Saints. Can they hold on and win this with grit and determination?
Schofield comes off the ground.
Yeah, his effort wasn't good enough, Dermot, and the season's on the line. This is where you make your career a name for yourself here. This bloke here.
He's lifted since they've got those injuries. He's lifted for the occasion, but also he's become the primary focus up forward. They're going to him much more now.
Now Gehrig slides in. Did he juggle it taken away by his teammate Thompson? And out of bounds.
He was going to grab it too, I reckon.
He was. Well, Tomo instinctively went at the football as Fraser was going back to get it.
One off the feet.
Certainly not a mark.
No, he might not have got it. Actually, might have been jumping away from him.
Yeah. He's been contorting tonight. We've got to give him that. Mill fumbles, can't get through. Walker had him a long time. Harvey across the body. Hit the post. Harvey's hit the post.
Well, like Peter Dacos in that jumper out there tonight, Robert Harvey.
Not quite.
Sorry.
8 points the difference. St Kilda hanging on. Walker has it. In the back pocket for the Fremantle Dockers. Their season is on the line. Mundy takes the mark at half-back flank. Looks up, not a whole lot on. Needs Pavlich to come up. Look at this for a battle. Pavlich versus Revolt. That's where it's going. Why wouldn't they kick it to Pavlich? He almost does it too. Couldn't quite hold it. Thompson along the boundary line. Peggott takes it to the line. Over it goes with 7:40 on the clock.
Well, they've got one-on-one in their forward line, which is what they want. Farmer's done nothing at all. Is sitting down the goal square. McFarlane a bit further up.
Throw in, as you can see, just backward of half-forward flank for the Saints. Crowd starting to come alive now. Sandilands gives it a big punch. Back over towards the boundary line. Right on centre wing. We'll have a throw in.
They'll take advantage of this right now, Eddie. He's Sandilands' dominance. And you almost got to take a bit of a risk and go over the back and run onto one over the back. He's going to get hands on it. Make the most of it.
Well, it definitely sets the trend. The ball should go in motion towards the Dockers' goal, and that means they should all get on the bike heading that way.
Sandilands gives it a good hit forward. Montagna just got his body on it enough. Over the top they go, they hold it up, and this will give the Dockers a real chance as Sandilands will get a stoppage again.
Well, the crowd have found their voice. They realise it might be 7 minutes of the most important time of the year for them.
If you've just swung on the Friday night football, St Kilda tonight, Penny off with a knee, Kaczynski off with a quad, Maguire off with a hip flexor, and Gehrig is sore down at full forward. That is the tail of the injury tape. Pete Larkins will give us the update right after the match. But as the clock ticks down to under 7 minutes left in this game, it's an 8-point ball game. St Kilda leading by 8 points. Fremantle must win this game to give themselves any chance of playing in September. For the Saints, third spot on the line.
Yeah, plenty of time. Sandilands down to Black. Black inside the forward 50. Revolt back in defence. Battles with Pavlich. It runs away from the pair and goes out of bounds in the pocket. So the Fates might be conspiring to help Fremantle into the 8. He's helpless. Peter Bell standing behind there, the skipper. His courage last week, monumental. But wouldn't they love him out there now? Boundary throw in. Rucks go at it. Sandilands has been the master again. Lays it down in front. Peak tripped over. Needed to stay on his feet. Good tackle, Harvey. Over the top comes Hayes, and the ball will be bounced in the forward pocket.
Well, the last 2 times Sandilands has put it down right where the Fremantle players want it. They've got to clear out some space. That's the thing here. Make some room.
He needs to flick it across towards the kickoff line if he can. He tries to. Taken by Crowley. Upended. Blake goes to Harvey. Into Mines. Takes it back across the line. Concedes a behind. We're down to virtually 6 minutes remaining in the game.
What an important kick in here. Ozzie Jones, I think, will take it. He has to spot a man up, but he can't just go to a dead end. Must get some play on footy out of it.
Harvey to a one-on-one contest, and Revolt was the man. Why wouldn't he go to him?
Gee, they really have lost their run, the Saints. They know that every time they shove it into the forward line, it comes back twice as quick with interest.
Ryan Munster, the St Kilda captain, trying to eke a little bit more time off the clock as the kickers forward to a pack. Over the head of the pack it goes. Blake goes off the ground. Didn't get a whole lot of purchase on it, but at least he got it going his direction. It spills out to Walker, who was away before he had it under pressure. It's a shocker, and it's smothered over the line and out of bounds. Can't second grab in this pressure cooker finals type atmosphere. Now look at this. Sandilands has come off the ground as a throw in. They don't have a ruckman. He has come off the ground and is a mile off the pace. Langmuir comes on. In the meantime, no ruckman for the Fremantle Dockers at that throw in.
Tell you what, if it comes out this side though, they're away.
Matthew Carr taken down. Blake slides in. He's over the football, Blake. Has to paddle it across to Del Santo. It goes across the boundary line.
Yeah, the other thing to take into consideration, right now the scoreboard here at the Subi is taking a live feed of the game, and you can see the clock on the ground. The players know very well there's 5 minutes and 16 seconds left.
Blake knocked it down. Hazelby heard the voice. Went to Peak, who's been very good. Feeds it back to Walker. He finds a way through. Now a problem for the Saints. Carr is running through midfield. Needs precision here. Goes looking for Pavlich. Cleared everybody. Medhurst got hands to it. He couldn't hang on either. Sliding back was Graham. Got up, taken by the ball. Down he went, holding the ball.
The villain, could he turn into the hero? Now that's well done by Jeff Farmer. He's telling everybody, just cool it, stop it.
And then went back for a fight.
He did, he thought about it. That's his
Is this a
instinct.
free?
Well, he had prior opportunity. He doesn't know where he's getting Pearl Harboured from, but what actually happens is he's looking up the field, he's running, and that is deemed prior opportunity.
Or was it knocked out in the tackle, which is also part of it?
Which, hey, when they run him down from behind and the ball spills free, that's deemed prior opportunity. It's a free kick. It's the same aspect on the free kick.
Ryan Thomas was looking at his assistant coach saying, "Have you heard the one about prior opportunity?" Here's Farmer, who's kicking from about 25 metres. Can the villain become the hero? Sort of. There's a point the difference.
Don't shoot the messenger, Gaz. What I'm saying, no, I know. I'm just saying that is the reason why it was paid.
No, they paid them all year. Yep. They have paid them all year.
So 3 or 4 steps. He's in the heat and he's taken 3 or 4 steps. He doesn't know he's getting done from that side. It's unfortunate for him. And Tomo, well, there's the oops.
There the oops.
There was an oops in there.
Tell you what, it's a big few minutes for the Dockers.
Come on.
All right, have a look at this. Prior opportunity came from nowhere. Was it knocked out in the play? Look at the reaction here. Don't need to be a lip reader. And that is the 5th goal tonight from free kicks to the Fremantle Dockers. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left on the clock. It is 1 point the difference. Dennis Cometti on Friday Night Football.
Langmuir knocked it down. Dodd out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward. Crowd roars. Out comes Jones, pursued by 2 Dockers, closing his car. Jones gets the kick away with precision too. And the mark is taken on the other side by Ball. 4 minutes remaining.
Reebok gone forward, been moved off. Pavlich, I think they realise now they're going to need at least one other goal. So he's gone forward, Hamill back.
Factor in the draw as well as the kick hugs the boundary line. Reebok comes up, it's knocked away by Thornton. And I suppose what's happening here tonight is an argument against what coaches are saying, how they should be allowed to talk about umpires. Can you imagine a press conference tonight? Can you imagine what would be said? Boundary thrown on the other side. Let us do it for them. Over the top comes Ackland. In goes Carr. Hayes went to ground, jarred out of there. Tried to emerge with a football mill and came out ballless, so to speak. Socket off the ground there by Carr. Going after it, Hazelby. Sockers to his own advantage. Hazelby goes again. It's out of bounds on the full.
Fremantle
minutes to go.
Fremantle in their own right load up at the other end. With Polak going forward, he'll team alongside Pavlich and, of course, McFarlane. So 3 tall targets.
Hazelby been outstanding. He has picked up from Peter Bell.
Hayes out to Green.
The clock has been blocked out, I should tell you now.
The last 5 minutes, yep. Graham kicks up the line to Baker. Yeah, so that's blocked out. So the players don't know that there's 3 minutes and 8 seconds left. There's Baker. Well, obviously that the coach's box does.
Well, they've got to get the footy back. Freo just got to win it back.
Hackett has it with 3 minutes to go. They lead by a point.
This is so tough to run down 3 minutes in this day and time.
Hackett goes up towards half forward. Been taken there by Thornton.
Wrong side.
Josh Carr went the wrong side, went the defensive side. Angle on the Walker on the travel. Got it away though. Hazelby. Hazelby goes for the big torpedo. Up towards Pavlich at the back. Graham couldn't hold it. Picked up by Voss. Tackled beautifully by Pavlich. We would have to deliver it.
Absolutely. Well, that's the one. That's where St Kilda get a lucky break because, Thornton's... Sorry, I was just waiting then as I was looking at the other end.
You couldn't pay that. No.
What was his intention?
His intention was to kick the ball. He got tackled. Who would he know?
Straight to the boundary.
I reckon they know how to pinpoint every time. Medhurst twisting and turning, gets it out. Flying shot from Pete. High up in the air towards the goal square. Up they go, off hands. No one there. Farmer missed it completely. All he needed to do was score. He missed the lot. And the Saints through Montaigne reload 45 metres out from goal.
They take 2 points for our, wouldn't they? At the absolute worst, they have to take 2 points.
Keep them alive. Short one comes to Peckett. Now the clock, the enemy of the Dockers.
Oh, dear me.
The Saints could strangle this game if they could just keep possession. Goes short, marked by Jones.
Well, they've spread them, Fremantle. They've been able to spread them, St Kilda. That's why they've been able to pick these players off. They could concede. They'll get another shot at it, Freo, do you reckon?
They eventually, somewhere in the next 30, 40 seconds, they'll have to kick to a contest. Well, it's coming sooner than that.
The Saints have been so brave. Working behind the pack.
Break the middle.
Is taken there by Peake. Loved his game. The tougher it's got, the more desperate it's got, the better he's played. Black comes across the ground to Grover. They need a score.
Got the numbers up.
Scoring past is Parker. Long ball, not a good one. McFarlane. Come up the man. Gives it away to Farmer. Farmer around the corner. Carr fell over. Langmuir comes out. Tackle Graham, who didn't have the football. Polak's hand pass. Comes away from Hazelby. Down. Brilliant tackle by Blake. It's gathered there by Jones. Straight for the boundary line. Run it in, says the umpire. There's 5 seconds to go.
There's plenty of time left. Luke McFarlane, he was set up for it the whole way through. This game has got everything.
Matthew Carr was the man. He couldn't find his feet. If he had marked it, this one here,
Farmer's kick was a bit too tricky. Anyway, the ball has been thrown in. It spills out to Peckett. Peckett with 47 seconds left on the clock. Handball's just over the hamstring's hands. Oh, they took it one-handed with Farmer coming at him. Peckett has another bounce. He's going to be run down from behind. He can't see it. He's gone. He's gone. McFarlane's got it again. 33 seconds to go. McFarlane's got it in his hands. Long kick forward. Looking for Pavlich in the pack. He goes. Longmuir's taken a screamer. They were done by 1 point.
chance to reverse it.
This will be a kick after the siren to possibly put Fremantle into the finals. High drama at Subiaco Oval. What a mark by Langmuir.
Oh, it's been good too. At worst, look at the reaction of Chris Conley in the Fremantle coaching box. They know the scene's the other way. Siren.
This is it for a chance at September glory for Justin Langmuir. Has kicked 14 goals, 6 this season. A score will make it a draw. A goal will give Fremantle a shot at September action.
Look how far he's come back.
Yeah, make sure he's got to go the distance. He's given plenty of advice.
38,057 people hold their breath at Subiaco Oval. Millions of people around the country. A handstand next to him to put him off. In comes Langmuir to take his kick.
Ice cool. Ice cool.
Fremantle have won after the siren.
Look at that.
Look at the scenes here at Fremantle. The Dockers, shockers on Friday Night Football, become last-second heroes. They could well be into the finals as the purple haze goes up around the ground. Amazing scenes here. This is one of the stories of the year. That because of their comeback. Grant Thomas marches off. Already furious at the umpires during the week. He's taken them on during the game.